Okay.
I'm ready. Trying to quiet my phone down.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order and we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everyone to the November meeting. We got approval of last month's meetings. There's two of them. A regular meeting and a special meeting on, let's see the dates here. October 10th, yep. Is there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I'd move to approve the minutes. I second.
Both.
Maybe both.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. We'll go to the agenda for today. We're going to add Forest Service road agreement off of, so I don't know, just put Forest Service road.
The egress road.
Yeah, egress road, there we go. Is Misty going to be here?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either, okay. And then we'll add gravel lease, the Armburst gravel lease. Any other additions to the agenda? We want a motion to approve the agenda for today.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now we'll go into the public comment period. That is, we have to do it every meeting. Is there any requests? None? Okay. Then we'll go into department head or commissioner reports. Who wants to go first?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Short, simple, to the point. If you have any questions on the list, let me know. Otherwise, the only thing I got was we discussed a lift a long time ago. So you know what your guys' opinions are on it. There's some pricing there. There's a big one, there's a little big one, then a little one.
I'd like to see the big one because that way the county can use it if they need to, provided they want to use it.
And I believe those two biggest ones would accommodate all your county trucks with the length and everything, so.
So I just saw this morning. The one is a 30,000 and the one is a 25,000. Is that right, or am I?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay.
The two biggest ones there. Then that other one, I mean, that would accommodate like the 550s and like your larger pickup chassis ones, but.
I guess what's your reason for his Armburst? I mean, he's not really a mechanic for a service equipment. We've done it for years with the jack. I mean,
Correct.
what's he gonna do with?
So with the lift, number one, it's simpler. You don't have to drag everything out, it's quicker. You can get a decent underbody inspection, just like when your vehicle goes up on a lift, don't you crawl under it, look at it. You get a better look at it. For inspections, road crew could use it. It's got the lift for tires and stuff. You know, and that was kind of like when my plan was on hiring him a year or so ago, was to get him transitioned into doing the maintenance on like the emergency vehicles, like just the basic stuff. Obviously, we're not gonna go buy a computer and vehicle reader for all of them, but.
I think safety too. He's a
Safety's a big part of
safety
it.
than a jack all the time.
Where's this gonna be stationed?
Probably up in Fairfield. Just because that's where we'd have the room.
So you would have this budget in your budget?
So yeah, I would have it in my budget. And then obviously it would fall under road and bridge. Looking at it, I kind of kept that in mind when we measured the trucks and stuff, so.
Are you on board with it, Pat? Can we split it, or can we, if we go on the road and bridge, can we use Bankhead Jones fund?
Can I ask a question?
Hmm?
So it's gonna be located in the fire hall?
Correct.
Would the fire district be able to pay for half and the road crew or road district be able to pay for half?
I'd have to take that back to them. I mean, the fire hall is a county building. We have county trucks in there.
Right, I'm just
Right.
wondering if it's for fire district use as well.
Well, it'd be based on like the top 10 most used. I mean, emergency vehicles, that would be all the county vehicles, you know, and then if it's there, yeah, we'd use it.
I'd probably think it'd be better if the county did it versus the fire takes. Being it's a county building, some would ever split there later, and you got fire department owning something in a county building. I don't know, maybe I'm looking at it differently.
Excuse me, in your email, you said to start with the hoist. What other things are you gonna be proposing or wanting eventually?
I mean, eventually it'd be nice to have a decent tire machine. And get into that a little bit more. Down the road.
Are you planning like a computer and diagnostics or?
I don't think quite that extreme. There you, yeah, that's a good job for the techs.
But tires would be, and oil changes, whatever, I just think,
Because I mean, now, I mean, we're paying anywhere from, I think EMS probably has got the cheapest oil change bills with their half tons at like $80 or $90.
The last one's 104.
104. I mean, so 104, you take them in, and I think one of the highest sheriff's office ones were like $250.
$300.
Yeah.
Well, but that's a lot of it's filters and oil. I mean,
Correct.
labor is not that much on the oil change.
Also, you look at the labor though, what their costs and put those filters and stuff in.
I would just say the time too. I mean, there for a while, it's better now because I think they added a couple of quick loops there around Dickinson. But I mean, you had to schedule it, you know, like some of them were 10 days out. I mean, we've had deputies sitting in there for a couple of hours waiting for the vehicle to be done. To me, it just seems like it would be more efficient if we could just have that and do the tire rotations. But so I'd certainly support it. I know I didn't like figure it out, but we're paying quite a bit for just routine oil changes and tires. So.
And we have had instances where, what was that? That was part of the rear suspension, I think, on that one pickup. We're down to run a spare or suspension issues, couldn't get it anywhere, and yeah, we actually used a resident in the county to go fix it, so. So I mean, it's more than just oil changes, it's regular maintenance inspection is a big part of it.
If we had a mechanic or auto or diesel mechanic in the county, I'd be supporting of it, but I mean, yeah.
well, I think that fire department does their own oil changes, I mean, so their own tire stuff, I mean, we take them off and somebody hauls them in, you know, usually, or I think the county, don't they do most of even their maintainer truck, oil changes, all that stuff, right?
We do all of our oil changes.
So I mean, they do all the mechanic work anyways. I feel if this would make it safer and easier, faster, I think it'd be a good deal.
Mr. Chairman, the only concern I would have is just to make sure that we could use road and bridge funds, we just can't use federal funds on this project. Unless you split it out based on how much usage for each, or prorate it for fire district, for general fund, for fire, or for EMS.
Would be easier just to split it between road and bridge and my
Yeah,
budget.
half and half.
Well, like I'm saying, there is funds that you can use in road and bridge for this purpose if you wanted to do that. But you can't, if you're gonna use federal funds, you just have to be careful not to use federal dollars for this purpose.
I think it should be a shared thing. If they're on board, I think it should be shared. My experience, I would have gave anything to have something like that, even if I didn't use it a lot, that 1, 2, 3, 4 times you'd used it to go down there. Venus and Fairfield, it's not that far. I think it's a good deal. And if you're gonna get one, I would not get that lighter one. It'd be foolish to get a lighter one, and you can't put a truck on it. Why would you do that?
Totally agree.
So the one you'd want would be the $64,000 one?
That'd be the 30,000 pounder.
What is the company name?
So that one is, I got it written, I think, on the corner. Oh, it's stapled there.
Oh,
Bonko from, Bonko? From
Benco or
Banco,
Benco?
from Bismarck.
And they'll come out and put it up?
Yep, that comes with installation and training.
Installation and what?
Installation and training.
Training?
Training,
Just to push a button, huh?
just to push a button. So that's left, the only other thing would be is we would have to have, what is it, I think that's a 220 volt. So we just have to run a wire in there too. So.
But currently, we have the list for the semis, right? In Freiburg, those 4?
What's that?
In Freiburg, we have the
Yes.
4 sets of lifts for the
Yeah.
semis.
Yeah, they use them all the time down there, that shop.
So those are for semis, and then this would be more for the trucks end of it.
Yep, well, they can pull their semis up on there.
Oh, they could.
Yep,
Is there enough roof space though?
yep, there should be just enough, what was it? So bottom of the tire would be up 5 to 5.5 feet. You could get it up to.
That would be on a larger truck, but on a pickup or whatever, it's
Oh, yeah.
plenty of room, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, 64. You're gonna have to get approval, if it is half and half, from the fire, or what are you gonna have to do?
I'd probably do half out of DEM and half out of Road and Bridge. Or if Sloth Redmond's good with it. Might like spending other people's money.
So then it's coming out of the general fund if it's half out of DEM.
Right. And then the other part out of your budget's okay then, with half of it, 32?
You feel better with half of it than the whole function.
Okay. Well, if we make the motion today, is that all right, or do you wanna go get whatever? I mean, we're good.
You
Your
can make a
budget's
motion.
good, everybody's
Yep.
budget's good. Well, I'd make a motion to give the 30,000 pound lift for 64,000.
And then split.
And split it, yep, and split it, sorry, I didn't add that, that's right. So we have a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, guys. Any other questions? Anything?
Okay, I'm good.
Perfect.
Thank you. Kyle?
Chairman, can I go quick?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna hand this out if you guys have any quick questions, otherwise I'm gonna head to ambulance call.
Okay. You better go now.
The only thing I ask for your guys' consideration is to put out a request for proposal to have outlets installed down on the ambulance and fire hall for campers for the next summer. So take a look at doing that, that'd be great.
Sounds good.
Any
Good.
questions for me?
Nope.
All right, see you guys later.
Good luck. Okay, so we're gonna, can you, where is, isn't here yet, is he? The maintenance,
Dale's back there. Yep, he's.
oh, way back there, okay. Can you help look into that, electrical thing that he's talking about?
Yeah, I'll give it him, see, didn't
Yeah.
quite catch what he was asking for.
Okay,
During the 4th, I think they want to put camper plug-ins for extra people.
Oh,
If they want to bring
okay.
their campers to stay, if housing is limited.
Oh.
okay, that's good. Who else? Yes, go ahead.
Got a couple things. I don't know if you have that in.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. So ongoing with the
Thank you.
fence around the propane tanks. I got in some additional quotes on some stuff. And I haven't sent this to anybody yet, thought I'd get your take on it.
Head southwest on 4th Street toward Pacific Avenue.
Have the
Then turn left
prices.
on the I-94 business loop.
And I think we should offer to pay the half of the fence that we prefer, which would be the bright chain link. And see where that goes with this city. That's kind of what I wrote up here. If you have any changes or any suggestions, I'm completely open. But, whatever, then I'll send this off to the city and they can mull that part over.
So, the SM fencing bid here, is that, that's gonna be, first of all, it's gonna be approved by the city, so they're gonna like it?
It's an option that, it's not industrial, yes, if they don't want industrial type stuff.
Back, here's the picture.
And
Oh,
it's also something that would kind of suit what we're looking for. It's not flammable, it's secure.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy for that little piece of fence. For us to spend, what, 27? What is it? 28, just about 28,000? And I talked to Derwin, I've talked to him several times, and like the brown chain, it's just coated. And it really doesn't stand out like bright, it really makes a big difference, so, I don't know. I've given him several options here again, so.
Has he indicated anything? Good, bad, or?
He wants wood, but I said that's a non-starter for us. We just will go put it in at what we want and say, there you go, it's done.
So I was at the meeting, because I was supposed to go there. And so when I attended it, the attorney said that she was gonna look into, because you had mentioned about it being, it can't be wood because of flammable, right?
Correct.
And they brought that forward that way, and then they were, is there wood looking non-flammable something?
There is.
That was brought up.
It's much more expensive than this stuff, even,
Okay.
I'd say double.
I mean, double of the 27, I'm just using that as an example?
They're
Okay.
talking like 40.
Okay.
I mean, it's very expensive, and it's not very durable.
Okay.
SM fencing, in fact, they have put some up and they do not recommend it. They said the wind breaks it up, it breaks up, so. Yeah, those are, in the time I've been going through this, these are the best options I've seen. So. Yeah, with all the valves and all that stuff by that vaporizer, I mean, security's a big thing, not just a wooden fence. That's,
right.
I mean, I don't get why they can't get on board with that. I mean, it's just. And it's the NFPA rules of, you know, and Derwin was, you know, as we're discussing it, talking about, well, the tanks are already on fire. I said, well, no, if you have a fire close to it, you don't want your enclosure flammable, you know, then you're feeding a potential bigger problem. And it is national rules. I mean, depending on who's filling your propane tanks, they could say, I don't want to fill your tanks. This isn't a proper enclosure. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't, but it's a possibility.
They were supposed to let me know, the attorney deal. Or let you know. So nobody let you know that they would go away from the wood, because they were just set on the wood.
Yeah, it was very set on the wood, and like I said, that for us, I think that's a non-starter. You know, for several reasons. But I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah, I know. It's not your. You did good here by coming up with these bids, and so.
Well, I'd sure like to keep the price reasonable. You know, that's a lot of money for what it is. Here we were complaining about 10 or 13,000 for the vaporizer. Well, double that just for a fence.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Could you go to the meeting tonight and just state, or have somebody go to the meeting tonight and state that if they want to go with their suggestion, then the city can pay for it?
Are you
Otherwise,
planning on going? I can.
The county would have.
I didn't get on their agenda.
Yeah, we'll get it. I think we should be able
It's
to.
on their agenda.
Because I talked to Derwin a while back and I said to put me on November's, and I don't think I'm not sure we did.
Well, this is an ongoing thing, and so I think they'll be able to. I can probably go too, but their attorney was going to look into the legality of the rules and see if they could do something about it, which I don't know anything about legal stuff, so I don't see how they can override that rule. Okay, that's.
And that's city property or what? That is on? That's.
They have an easement from TRMF for that property.
Oh, that's, okay, yeah. Well, I guess we're just gonna have to put it on hold until we get an approval from them then, because their zoning has to, they have to approve it.
Okay. Well.
Because I don't think we can just go do it.
Yeah, and
it's not on our property.
And I told Derwin, I said, we're not gonna strong arm anybody,
Right.
Try to work together here, but they're not really moving. There's several ways to go here, and they haven't moved at all in any direction. So.
Right.
I guess, Mr. Chairman, maybe his proposal here is we paid 4,000 of what the half, or wait,
Yeah, we paid $4,400.
of what we wanted.
But what
So
we want.
if they want to do whatever
They paid the rest.
are they paying the rest, but yet are we gonna still fight about the security end of it? If they want a wooden fence or something?
I just don't see how, I mean, if they're gonna do a wooden fence, then I'm just throwing this out there, then they're gonna be 100% responsible then.
That's what I would do.
And I had
Okay.
mentioned that the other night, and I said, well, then you're gonna be responsible. Well, then they were gonna look into it.
Being financially responsible or what?
Any any
No,
liability.
insurance
as well,
wise,
I would think,
liability
yeah,
wise.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as cost wise, are we?
Well,
If it blows up and it's not in compliance with state fire
Mhm.
regulations, which I understand you require something other than wood?
It has to withstand, it has to be it can't be consumed within a certain amount of time of flame. So it's not feeding a fire next to flammable containers.
Right. And wood doesn't
Wood.
meet that
It doesn't,
specification.
no.
no.
I mean, that's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't want to do it, then I think the county ought to write a letter to the city saying, this is your legal responsibility. We're putting you on notice that the county disagrees violently with your plan. And, I mean, I would think, Mr. Chairman, that the city attorney will have checked the state fire code and will advise the city that wood fence is not acceptable.
Do they have this bid?
I have not sent this yet. I was gonna let you guys
Okay.
eyeball it and I can email it over this afternoon. Sure. So they have it.
So they have it
prior
for a
to,
night. Okay. I'll go to the meeting unless someone else wants to go, but
I can't, otherwise I would jump on it.
I'd get somebody else's opinion on it, but yeah. Okay, that's how we'll do it, and then I'll just tell them that we're gonna write a letter then, I guess, because that seems to be the consensus that we'll do, if they don't approve something.
Sounds good.
Okay? Anything else, Dale? What
a
else?
little bit.
Okay.
For the fire protection system in the courthouse, the sprinkler heads are out of date. I have a proposal for $2,500 to come in and change all the sprinkler heads. Once they hit 20 years old, they can either take a percentage of them and send them in for testing, but then your testing period drops by half. So then you'd have to retest all the heads every 10 years. Or we just replace them now and we're good for another 20 years. So I think probably just replace them and be good for 20 years.
2,500 to do them all, do them all.
2,500, yeah, that's what it says here. Replace sprinkler heads that are over 20 years old, $2,500.
Well, I think that's something we gotta do, that's my opinion. Okay?
And with all the work they're doing in the streets and all the plumbing out here the city's doing, we will lose water service to the courthouse sometime in the future for they're replacing the valves on the mains. Not sure when that is.
This fall now, you're thinking?
Yeah, it should be, within the next couple weeks,
Okay.
hopefully. So there'll be a disruption in water service here for a while.
Like a few hours or a day? Or
If it goes well, a few hours. If it does not go well, a day.
So we have to make a holiday, right?
Work from home.
That's all I've got.
All right, well,
Okay,
thank you,
thank you.
Dale. Kate?
Good morning.
Morning.
The weed board, so all of our seasonal staff is gone for the season now, and we're just working on getting all of our equipment winterized and then gone through and kind of fixing anything that needed repairs. And we got through all the county roads this year, which has been the first year in a long time that we've got to cover all of them. And then all the landowners that called in for assistance this year, we were able to assist. One hiccup right now is with the government shutdown. The Forest Service isn't doing any payments, so our bill for them might be postponed into 2026. Hopefully everything's back up and running by the end of the year, but that usually takes over 30 days to get paid when they're operating, so I don't see us getting paid in 2025.
So what would happen with that is because their budget depends on that payment coming in, the revenues. So if it doesn't come in by the end of the year, we'll have to amend and make a transfer to the weed board for that amount
Okay.
until it's covered.
To pay the bills and whatever.
Right.
Okay,
And then
understood.
moving into like prairie dog season, so we've been purchasing poison for landowners to purchase if they're certified with their private or commercial applicator's license. So if you know anyone, we've placed our first order already. We have a little bit on hand, so if anyone needs that. And then we're still selling chemical as well.
Now, does your team go out and do prairie dogs? No.
No,
Right.
no, we don't
Just
have,
asking.
like, we can sell it, but we don't have the licensing to like
Oh.
poison commercially.
Okay.
Which we were asked by the Grazing Association, but we were able to find them someone to do that, so.
Okay.
Questions?
No, I think that sounds good. Looks good out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, it does.
Julianne?
Just quick, we have our annual risk management training on the 19th. You as commissioners are not required to attend, but you can certainly come for lunch if you would like. And then the courtroom facilities grant, we didn't put in for anything this year just because we had significant things last year with the cameras and was that the bulletproof?
Right, the ballistic panels.
So we didn't put in for anything, but the state will be here next week to do some pretty big technology updates in the courtroom, and that's on their cost, so just so you know.
You said November 19th?
Yes,
Is
that's a
that here at the
Wednesday.
courthouse?
Yep, and if you want to just come for lunch, that's at noon, but if you want to sit through the training, it's 11 or 1 o'clock, so.
Okay. Anything else? You're good?
Yep.
Stacy, are you special? Yeah, you're a special.
Well, it's that time, yeah. I mean,
She's always special.
I have a few things, but.
Well, we got Dean left,
Okay.
right? So let's go ahead, Dean. Pat, can see something in his last. Thank you.
I don't have a lot today. Basically, we're up 25 calls, I guess, from last October, so pretty similar. I mean, as far as numbers, I don't know if you folks have any questions on that. We did have another overweight this month, so we're getting Noah trained up, and he's been spending a lot of time with Frank and then Fred too. So we've got 3 guys that are, trying to get, I should say 2 guys getting Noah up to speed. So he's a fast learner, so I think he'll be good. He's gone through quite a bit of training or whatever here this last over a month and a half. So he's now kind of doing independent patrols and taking calls, things like that. So as far as the on-call stuff at night, so he's doing well. I think we're lucky we got somebody that went through the training and his drive and stuff too. I mean, it's nice to see a young person like that wants to get involved with law enforcement, because there's a lot of, I think, people today that are taking different paths just with, like climbing around from, not so much in North Dakota, but just nationwide with some of the bad stuff that, has happened or whatever with law enforcement. So we're lucky that way. So, trying to think what else. Pat will talk about some of the library updates, but we had a good productive meeting last week with Chris and Rebecca, and so I think we're kind of getting on the same page, trying to dial things in and figure things out. The city was involved too with that meeting, so I think we're making progress there. We've been in contact with a lot of our sister agencies and departments out there about requesting help, and so far they've all been really good. I've got commitments from 3 of them right now, as far as things dialed in where I sent them a letter doing an official request. But I've got commitments that I just need to, once we kind of have our staffing levels where we think we're comfortable, then I'll reach out to the other ones. But we've got North Dakota Parole and Probation. I mean, they're committed to come. We've got the U.S. Marshal Service and Bismarck Police Department, but I've got a lot of others. Like I said, I just have to basically work out the details. And so far, a lot of those they're willing to cover their salaries or whatever to come and help. Bismarck PD is the exception with a couple of the components, but they're also going to provide some specialized equipment and stuff too that they'll bring with them. So I don't know if anybody has any questions for me on that or any of the reports. If not, Pat can give his updates, I guess.
I was just gonna ask on the animal complaint, is that like dogs or what's
So
that's kind of a high number, ain't it? Or is that normal?
I mean, let's see here. Not really. I mean, we've had those in the past.
Oh.
And we've had dogs that basically are running at large or whatever, or barking or what have you. But it also includes if there's cattle out, that would also include
That'd be an
type
animal.
of livestock.
Okay. Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that either, but yeah.
So I would say pretty average, actually.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Dean.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right, we'll finish Pat on
Morning. He covered quite a bit of it already, just working on a lot of the logistics. They did get their letter from the city and the county and working on getting, how important it is to get the numbers narrowed down so we can figure out the resources of what we all need and stuff. So been a lot of meetings, and like I said, that one last week, and Ken was there too. I know you overlooked Ken, but Ken was there. But, just to kind of dial everything in to get the numbers squared away, to get these resources secured, because time is really of the essence for a lot of these specialized teams. So, I don't know if you guys need anything more, if you have any questions, but Ken and Chris are here if you guys have any questions as what the invitations went out and they're getting those back, so we're getting numbers that way. And it's hard to determine what is going to be the number of general public that does show up. And that's what the huge concern is, because it's it was put out to 20 to 40,000. That's a lot of people for looking at.
Yeah, I was attending those meetings too, and so they were very productive and got things rolling and got, some things to plan on and work on, so I think it turned out good. The city is on board also, everybody is together, and so I think we just have to keep plugging away at all the things that need to be done.
Go ahead, Jim.
No, if you had a question, looked like you had a question.
Especially like the letter that they got. I mean, a lot of that stuff that was just being requested. I mean, for us and them to work together, a lot of those questions that were on there, is already taken care of. It's just a matter of relaying that information to the city and making sure that these items that they were requesting are taken care of. That's going to be that would be on the sheriff's office anyway, because they wouldn't know some of that stuff. There's just no way they're going to know some of those logistic situations. So.
Okay, you guys have any questions?
Okay, so.
Okay. All right, thank you then, Pat.
Thank you.
I think we have to go 9:30 to we're a little bit late on the state's attorney position.
So it's, as I've told the commission, I plan on resigning at the end of the year. And I think by a decision of the commission last January, that the state's attorney's job was made full-time. Just as a general comment, it's not up to me to decide. It's up to you, but I don't think that the state's attorney's position needs to be full-time in Billings County going forward. As everybody knows, that ongoing bridge litigation that went on for years and years, took up a lot of time. That's been resolved. So when I started 7 or 8 years ago, there was a big backlog of issues that had to be addressed. They have been addressed, as a matter of fact. There were many zoning policy issues. We're very lucky, frankly, to have Stacy in her role. We're getting really the most up-to-date information on current zoning. And I think those legal issues have all been addressed. I think the zoning in Billings County is a good program. The only caution I would give the commission on that subject is the whole issue now of enforcement. It doesn't do any good to have zoning rules and regulations if they're not enforced. And that leads to all sorts of legal problems if it's kind of spot enforcement. The same policy reasons are why we don't like spot zoning. So that's a consideration that I would urge the commission to take a look at. And over the last several years, we've addressed very complicated legal issues, frankly, with the library, the ancillary issues over roads, the complicated issues over indemnity. Those have all been resolved. I think the commission and the library have we've had a good long working relationship with the library, starting with Linda Pankratz and Ed O'Keefe, and continuing to today. I've stated many times, the library has, unfortunately, back in 2020, we didn't get our bill through Congress, and but there were discussions. And, you know, I told the library folks, you dealt with us in good faith, and realities of politics in Washington are what they are. So the library land bill went through. Part of the discussions led to the library adopting in whole Billings County's land use plan, which I think gives the residents of Billings County some comfort as we go forward that the board of directors of the library is going to adhere to what the values are that have been adopted many years ago and consistently enforced in our land use plan. So I'm pleased to report that. Billings County took over social services for all of the southwest counties. And that was a legislative fiat from Bismarck that just basically said, all of these social service people in the different zones can vote on where they want their administrative headquarters to be, and the Billings County State's Attorney, by law, once the social service people picked Medora in Billings County, then we are the legal representative of Badlands Human Services North. And there have been quite a few issues, frankly, consistent with that new responsibility. Before I leave for January, we're having a meeting with Amanda Engelstead, the Stark County State's Attorney, and we're going to have a discussion with the folks and the staff over at Badlands Human Services and make sure that they understand what all their legal responsibilities are. Being a social service worker is frankly a very tough job emotionally. They're dealing with children's issues and disrupted families and parents not acting well, and it results in rather frequent court disputes, not only on child protective stuff, but they get subpoenaed a lot in divorce cases, and there's a lot of rules and regulations. But whomever the Billings County Commission chooses to replace me, I'd be more than willing to sit down with them and discuss that. There's been new construction by TRMF, permits, zoning, relationships with the city of Medora are ongoing. The ongoing plans for the library opening, it sounds like Pat and Dean have got a good handle on that, working with the library, so I don't anticipate that there's going to be a lot of ongoing legal problems, at least as far as the library's permits. They've got everything that they need to complete their project. The road issues have been resolved. The road issues with Meridian have been resolved. So there's not a lot to report about what the future may hold for legal issues with the library. So I don't see any large pending legal challenges on the county, other than the political and legal proceedings going on with the roadless rule in Washington, which there's a lot of kind of backroom negotiating going on, and there's a lot of comments being put in the Federal Register, and what the result of that remains to be seen. So it's your decision, obviously, on what kind of a compensation package for the state's attorney should be going forward. Now, I've had the pleasure of working with Jared Dietzen, and Jared has done, by contract, the criminal work for Billings County. And from what I've been able to tell, I think the sheriff's office is confident in his legal work. So, and I think, Juliana, you've had no issues with Jared, have you?
No, it's gone very well.
So I'd like to introduce you then to Jared Dietzen and Olivia Krebs. It's up to you to decide as you go forward how you want to replace me, what the process is. But I can tell you unreservedly that Jared and his law firm, along with Olivia, based on what I've learned about their representation of other governmental entities, would have my endorsement. So however you gentlemen wish to proceed in terms of my replacement, if you want to go through a whole advertising process and interviews and that type of thing, you know, that's your decision. And as you go forward with compensation, the only caveat would be you're going to get what you pay for, and you need a state's attorney that is cooperative and willing to talk to the commission and reach resolutions where resolutions can be reached. And I have no doubt that if you choose Jared and his firm, you'll be well represented. If you decide you want to open it up and start interviewing other people, that's fine. If you want to negotiate a part-time lawyer's role, I think that would be great as well. I do think that you should have a state's attorney available to you, at least during commission meetings. And as to zoning, Billings County never had a state's attorney that attended all the zoning meetings, and a state's attorney should at least be available to the zoning board by telephone if any issues come up. Other than that, I think the state's attorney and the sheriff's office have had real good working relationships, and so I played really no role in that. So if you have any questions, I'd be willing to answer. The reason I need, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for accommodating me this morning.
Mm-hmm.
The parole board has got a very contentious hearing coming up at this afternoon, so I have to get there early this time. So, any issues or questions?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to say one thing, is that also along with the commission using or needing state's attorney's advice, all the department heads of the county also need to be able to have contact with somebody. So just to make sure that, you know, that's clear, you know, for elections, for things like that. So if there's legal questions, you know, we also have to account for the county department heads to be able to reach them.
Some department heads are more difficult to deal with than others.
Yes, they are. No. Thank you.
Well, I think if there's any more questions, thank you, Mr. Weir, for that presentation. That was good.
Thanks.
Good luck today.
Thanks.
Yes. I know you had to leave earlier today, so, yeah.
Before you leave, Pat.
Yes.
You had asked me one time that you'd like to do something before you retire. Do you remember what that was?
I can't now.
You said you wanted to run motor grader.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick, do we have a motor grader in Medora? Take it over to his house.
No.
I'll blade his yard.
Yeah, blade.
I'll blade your yard. Are there any questions I can answer before? If something comes up, just call me on the phone.
Yeah, no, I think we're okay. We're gonna discuss about probably if we are or aren't gonna do a hiring committee and whatever, and
It's all up to you guys.
yeah, so, thank you then.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah.
So, any thoughts on, I guess I can start. I think that what we have or had, you know, everything was working good. I think that we should get a hiring committee, and I think then we should discuss things about it, what we would like, and if there's any changes, and then maybe we're gonna have a special meeting again, but what do you guys feel?
When you say hiring committee, does that mean for a full-time employee or to hire out a firm?
I think that's what the hiring committee should help decide. We have to ultimately decide it, but I feel it should be probably a part-time, because I think, is that correct? That was the part-time. Until the last year.
Part-time and it turned full-time.
He was full-time this year.
It's
but
an
it's
exempt
part-time
position,
before.
so,
Yeah.
you know, it wouldn't really matter how you classify them, but.
Right. And to add to my feelings, I think that the attorney could do it all rather than sub out things, but maybe I'm wrong. I just think that there has been times when it's been really busy, and then there has been times. But then the state's attorney would be able to hire out, because that's what they are legally can do, correct?
Whether or not it's a full-time, part-time, or a firm that you hire, they could hire somebody else within their budget to work for the county, if necessary.
I mean, the way it was working worked out fine with them involved, or I think there was others that were doing it, but.
So we would advertise, correct?
If that's what we want to do, yes.
Well, I'm all for advertising. My years of experience here, there's times we did it and we didn't do it, and I just think it's good to do. We can still pick who we want at the end, see what's out there, so I'm all for advertising.
So are we advertising for an employee here, part-time, full-time, or are we advertising for a firm? I guess I'm asking both of you, what's your way of thinking? I'm on this side, I don't know. I mean, personally, yeah.
Is there a difference? What's the difference between?
Well, because Pat is an employee. Or are we gonna just hire XYZ as the firm and everything goes to them. We don't have an employee here. That's what he was kind of throwing out there as a suggestion, right? Or am I wrong?
Yep,
Kind
that's
of.
how a lot of counties are doing it at this time, because they can't get a full-time state's attorney in their counties. So, Golden Valley County, Stark County, they all have attorneys that, is Amanda, is she full-time with Stark County, or is she with?
In the Southwest District, the only county that is full-time is Stark.
Right.
By my understanding, every other county, Golden Valley, Bowman, Hettinger, Adams, all of those are contracted part-time state's attorney positions.
So then there's no insurance, there's no payroll, it's just a 1099, so to speak, paying by the hour.
Right, so it would be a contract rate or a
Paid by the hour.
Yeah, paid to the firm.
I don't know if it'd be by the hour though, right? I mean, you could
No, you could
set-
do a contract rate for,
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And I guess
everyone.
I'd like to see somebody that can do both of those things, you know what I mean? And whether it's, whatever you
Do
guys
everything,
decide.
do everything, you mean?
I think so. Somebody that can do criminal, somebody that can do civil, I mean, it's all of that. I think that would be nice. And I know, working with Jared and stuff there, I mean, he's always been approachable and always been easy to get a hold of, stuff like that. But like you said, you announce it, I mean, they can apply or whatever as well, I guess whatever you guys decide you want to do on that front. But it's important to have somebody that's going to answer the phone, because I mean, a lot of the times it's late at night or on the weekend, and that's one thing. I mean, he's always been able to get a hold of, and I think that's important to me. Whoever we find, I think that's key,
That was gonna be my question to him.
And then it's like, maybe that's something where, this is just me talking now, I liked being able to, have some interaction or whatever, too, like, maybe the commission could set certain, however you want to do it, a day a week, 2 days a week, whatever, I mean, where they would be in Medora. I don't know if, that's, something that could be done, but I think that's key too, just to have that interaction and FaceTime. And I think you guys would like to have, I mean, I'm not going to speak for you, I guess, but it's always nice to have Pat, like when he was at the meetings here, because something always crops up, So it's so hard to do stuff on Teams and things like that. That's just not me. But yet Dickinson's fairly close too for those other days or whatever. We could easily run in there, but I just like the accessibility and the availability. That's key to me. So.
Also going with a firm, the attorneys that whoever you make contract with, they'll have other attorneys in their firm that they can work with on, different types of legal issues that may come up for the county. So then you have more than one at your disposal, essentially.
So just an idea or thought, can we request, like advertise, we want potentially a firm here during commission days, a half a day during a week, put it out there, advertise for the firm then to, I don't know, RFQ or whatever they, or present, give us a rate, or then we can select it off of that? Is that a thing we can do then?
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that make sense, what I was trying to
Well, then
describe?
my question to that is which way is it gonna cost the county more? Having someone half-time like we were, so to speak, or have someone that's contracted for, maybe some months there ain't gonna be much going on, and maybe 2 months later we got a lot going on.
So what I would suggest to you guys is to do a request for proposal from various firms or individual attorneys in the state of North Dakota that could present, how they see the process going. Because they'll know more than we do about, what the legalities of how you hire the state's attorney, what the state's attorney's duties are, and the ones that'll be interested will be able to put together a proposal of how they would provide services for the county.
Mr. Chairman, would you mind letting him speak and just of how he would, a way it could work?
If you would like to, sure, go ahead, that would be.
I'm Jared Geetson. I've been, our office, Kubik, Bogder, Riddle and Sellinger Law Firm, has handled the criminal prosecution contract. Not sure how long prior to January of 2024, but Jordan Sellinger, who has departed the law firm, had worked in that role, I believe, for maybe 2 years prior. I did have some hand in that at times, but I wasn't the primary, go-to. With that said, our office, including Olivia Krebs, Olivia has prior experience and current experience handling boards and commissions. She's the city attorney for Glen Ellen, New England, Richardson, has worked under Christina Winko doing Golden Valley County matters. So where I don't have the exclusive experience in handling county-related matters, Olivia certainly does. And also we have John Wagner in our office, who's fairly getting close to retirement. But with that said, kind of a proposal or just something for the commission to consider. I forget who said it, you get what you pay for of sorts. If you open it up to which, and we have no, we wouldn't be offended by any means if that's the decision, and would look for a quote, but I don't think you're gonna find a full-time position or a person who would come in full-time. That would include benefits and the rest. If you do that, you're going to be finding somebody who is currently unemployed, most likely. And there's a reason that particular licensed attorney is unemployed, because they don't fit anywhere else. I was speaking with Juliana this morning, and that happened in Oliver County. They had an opening for a state's attorney. They brought in somebody. He failed miserably. He took a public defender position and was let go, after a few months. And he was unemployed, doing that. So staying local, having people that are familiar with the region, is a benefit. Our firm would be interested in doing a flat rate monthly contract, to be determined, to be negotiated. But what my understanding is of Pat's salary, as a full-time employee, he does get benefits. We would not be seeking benefits because we couldn't do the full-time in-house 5 days a week. We have a law firm to manage. So it would be a monthly contract of sorts to provide any and all coverage as needed, in-house on 1 to 2 days a week as needed, to provide that coverage and continuity. But as I said earlier, the only county that I'm aware of in the Southwest Judicial District, which covers 6 or 7 counties, Stark County is the only one that has a full-time state's attorney's office. I don't even believe Dunn County considers that full-time, unless it changed now with the recent election, but prior to that, their state's attorney prior to the current one was moonlighting as an assistant state's attorney in Minot. Because it was considered a part-time position. So I'd be happy to entertain any questions or thoughts that I may be able to answer.
Well, I kind of like your proposal, so to speak. I do, we'd have to get some more info put together about what we can, what you can, and so that then it can get put together. That's why I still feel that we also should have some sort of a hiring committee to sort through some things and then see where we want to be. And I think maybe we get something drawn up on a committee side, and then maybe have a special meeting, or just my thoughts, and then get it put out in a week or something. Unless we can come up with it today, but I think it's going to take maybe a little bit too.
I guess as far as the hiring committee goes, I agree, but yet I feel like it should be us three that, and maybe some of the others that are dealing with it, but the fact of we should be able to choose, or all be involved in it, kind of like when they hired the road super. to where maybe we put this all together, approve the request or whatever, I don't
The
know.
road, we did one commissioner and,
Oh, was it?
yeah, and 3, 4 others, right, wasn't there?
They did the one commissioner, and I think there's 3 or 4 other road superintendents.
To interview.
To do the
But then
interview.
they did redid the
presented.
interviews
And then we
here.
had to interview 2 of you at the meeting. yeah.
Oh, okay, that's what I was
Because
thinking
of this
of.
one, yeah. We couldn't
Sorry.
decide.
That's what I was thinking of.
But I think on your committee, you know, I mean, if they are, whoever you have on the committee, in the end, I mean, they just go forward with what, you know, the recommendation might be of the committee, but you guys are the ones that decide who you want. you know.
After it gets brought forward,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I'd like to see one commissioner on it for sure. I do. I think it'd be good to have one commissioner, whoever works close with, you know, that position, have them on there, a couple, 3 people, you know. It's still gonna come back to the commission at the end.
And yet this committee is just gonna write up the requirements, or what? What is this committee gonna do, I guess?
Well, I think then they would do interviews and then maybe write up some more. This one here is kind of brief, but
I mean, the committee can write up the interviews if you want it to still come back to us to approve it. I mean, however, I guess as long as we advertise it, and I think we all kind of feel in the part-time position, I would think, but.
And the only reason I sent that out is because that's what we had done in
Yeah.
January, so.
it's
I just
a-
wanted to have the list.
Yeah, I know, you have,
information.
whatchamacallit, it's just a demonstrated list, yeah, so.
And I guess
It's fine.
maybe one point is we should maybe, first of all, clarify, we're gonna go to a firm or we're gonna go to the employee side when we talk about advertising and all this.
Because this is the employee, and I guess I'm okay with what you presented as far as a monthly, because that's more contract. And
Correct.
What happens if there becomes a, you know, you were saying maybe you'd have a contract for each month, and that's just use $1,000. Then we have a big case going on. Is there going to be extra hours or fees added in if there's you know what I mean, a big,
Sure.
it's just it goes to trial, goes here, goes there, then what happens?
That would be, you know, contemplated, you know, in a monthly bid, you know, and what my understanding of Pat Weir's current salary with benefits is, plus our law firm is paid $3,000 a month on a contract to handle any and all prosecution matters. You know, what we have an idea in mind for a proposal would in the end save money from where it is this year. I don't want to get into that, you know, and bidding and stuff yet till we know, but the other thing I'll consider, or would ask you to consider, remember, there is just a shortage of attorneys all around the rural parts of the state. You know, everybody who graduates law school wants to go to Bismarck, Fargo, not even Minot or Williston, frankly, but they want, you know, relevant jobs. Anecdotally, a law school graduate, or a law school student rather, had contacted our office for a summer externship, contacted me directly, being listed as the prosecuting attorney for Billings County. He thought it was in court, in-house, you know, every day of the week, all those things. And once I explained to him that, no, that's not how it is. I have a private law firm, you know, but we'd get you experience. He wanted to do a summer externship. And he said, oh, it's not every day, it's not full-time. I said, no, but we do lots of other things where we could get you a wealth of experience, you know, in that. And he said, no, thanks. And then he went to Devil's Lake because they have a full-time prosecutor's office. He wanted to come to Medora because he had that interest in the outdoors, and then ultimately decided Devil's Lake over Medora. So with that said, perhaps the commission has seen something that was published, I believe, in the Bismarck Tribune recently. The Supreme Court just put out, and frankly, I didn't absorb it in depth. I'm aware of the article, but the rural development plan to try to get more attorneys in rural areas. All of the law firms in Dickinson are struggling to find someone. Macoff Kellogg had a summer associate that they were very, very much wanting to bring back, next summer and then after graduation. And that attorney or that law student just said, it's great, but I'm moving back to Indiana. They come here, our law firm also had a summer extern, but they don't ever really want to come back to the rural parts of the state. They don't see the benefit in it, to live out here, which those of us that are here do. So all the law firms struggle to find lawyers. We could hire 2 or 3 additional attorneys and everybody could stay busy, but the bodies just aren't there. So I think you're gonna have a very difficult time finding somebody on a full-time basis, unless they are, looking to ride out the end of their career, and then you'll be back here in 2 years, again. So just something to consider. But we appreciate the consideration and look forward to the decision.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, how do we want to move forward then?
I guess is it consensus to go towards a law firm? Is that first of all the step? Is that consensus, or do you want to?
I don't think that you need to state a firm or an individual. You just need to put it out as an exempt position and then let the applicant give their proposal. Because if you go the firm or the individual route, you're setting yourself up for, now you've closed the door on what you can.
I didn't realize that you could advertise it both ways.
Yeah, you're just an exempt either way. I mean, you're gonna be paying somebody, I would assume this commission would wanna pay them a rate.
Yeah.
Not a hourly or anything like that. So you're gonna put it out as an exempt professional.
Or you just say a request for proposal for state's attorney services for Billings County.
Correct.
Okay.
Instead of
I like
month,
that.
could you not do an annual, you know what I mean? I mean, I think that's obvious. Obviously, that seems like it'd be more easier to deal with. I mean, it's a 1-year appointment, right? I mean, if you're not comfortable, I guess from that point, I mean, it's not like you're held to, I guess, an elected position or whatever, or anything like that. I mean, you're able to, if things aren't being met, then you can go your way and they can go their way. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Jared is really capable and he's available. And I'm kind of torn on, and I get sometimes it's like, it's good to announce it or whatever, which I see that. At the same point, I don't know. I mean, I don't know who's out there or whatever too, I mean, we know they've done a good job. I mean, all of that. So I'm kind of torn on that, but it's just like, if you came up with a yearly number as far as what it's going to be, and then I think that's how it's been before. I mean, you just like the criminal part of it. You guys it's been $36,000 a year, whether it's a jury trial or not, correct?
Correct.
So, I mean, you kind of know what that is going to be. Where what would concern me is if you're paying an hourly rate, and that would be
if you had a long thing drawn out, then it would get to be costing a lot.
Yeah, but I agree with Juliana about the firm thing or whatever. I think it's. That's the way to go.
Anecdotally, again, I recall there was a case out of Grand Forks where their city attorney had an hourly, and they had a B misdemeanor case. It was published. Things that excite lawyers don't excite anybody else. But I think they paid out something like $20,000 for a B misdemeanor DUI that was a 20-year-old cold case, because it went to the Supreme Court appeal and a jury trial and all those other things. And it was a B misdemeanor DUI that had been sitting on the books for 20 years till the guy got arrested. So with that said, you have no guarantees of what your budget is going to call for. That way, if you bid it on a contract, this is what it's going to be all in. Yes, it ebbs and flows. Some months are very busy, some months not as busy. So.
So the question about what Dean said yearly, that would just divide it out monthly, and that's kind of what you had said. So those are the same thing, just so we get it clear.
Correct, yep,
Yeah,
an,
okay.
an annual contract,
Right.
you know, payable, you know, monthly, for all coverage.
Okay.
And that would come with, at least, again, not singling out our law firm only, but, it would bring two attorneys, you know, with their areas of specialty to the board, to the sheriff's department, to all the heads of the different departments. And we also have, you know, people on staff where we don't have to have a secretary in the courthouse, et cetera. So you get the full service of the law firm, which I think any firm would offer that exact same thing.
Having our office and Juliana's office been the secretary for Mr. Weir for the last many, many years, and we will fully appreciate that.
Yeah, that'll be missed in a way, because he was here every day. I mean, that was a good thing. So, do we, and I want to say too, nothing against anyone, we just kind of have to look at what we, as county officials, need to do is the right thing to do in advertising, and then maybe nobody else will, and hopefully you do, but you know, I feel that to be fair to all involved, that we, my opinion is to probably do an advertising, and then
Well, at the end, you can still pick who you want.
Right, so.
That's how I. Sounds like you're interested. I've never met you before,
Sure.
but you got a lot of support the way it looks, so.
Well, we appreciate that, and like I said, our office has coverage with other counties, cities, municipalities, oil and gas, leases, easements, we do all those things, which is in addition to my, you know, primary area of expertise, which is criminal work. You know, Olivia brings to the table everything else that the county needs.
It just helps us as commissioners to advertise, and it does. So that's how I feel about it.
Put it out for a couple weeks or what?
However you want to do it. I mean, you know, I'd say.
Yeah, we could
And
put
then to
it
have them all in by the next commission meeting.
by the next
You guys
commission,
could just
have it
review them all,
interviewed and everything,
like
yeah.
a week before, or 2 weeks before.
Sounds good.
So, we're kind of consensus there, who should we have on the hiring, committee? I feel that Juliana and Dean should be on there.
I'd like to see one commissioner, I really would. I'd like to see that, no matter whenever we do this the next time, hopefully it ain't the next time, but it's gonna be someday, then another commissioner go on it. I always think it's good to have one commissioner on it. That's my opinion, so.
Yeah, I'll go on it. I mean, if you guys, unless you guys want to too, but I don't care.
I think we should rotate, that's my opinion also. You were on the last one.
What's that?
When
Oh, maintenance? Yeah, I guess,
So-
yeah, that's portfolio holder, yeah.
I don't know, that's just my opinion, because otherwise you sit here and who's, what, when, and where.
Is there
Dean,
something to that?
I'll be on it, but you're the chairman, this is a bigger profile. I don't care, I guess, and I don't care, Steve, how you vote, I mean, how you wanna do
What's
it,
that?
but I mean, if we wanna put Dean on it or not, I just think the next one rotate to another commissioner.
Well, I would do it if, but if that's okay with you guys, and then, is 3 where we wanna be, or is there 4, or?
So will these 3 write up something then for us to approve, or do we know what we're talking about to where we can just start advertising however? I mean, how is that gonna work?
Good point.
Well, I think that we need to get together with the committee and come up with changing this one from the benefits package one to the other.
Yeah, it would be a
I
totally
know,
different.
right. So I think we'd have to come up with that, and then,
I mean, we talked about how we kind of like to see it, so I mean, if that gets drawn kind of that way for advertising, that's the way I'd like to see it, you know,
do we need to approve that as a board then?
Go ahead.
The proposal.
The proposal to put out on,
Not to put it out, so
Okay.
I would suggest to talk to North Dakota Association of Counties and get what, general request for proposal that that other counties have done across the state. So that could be put out, that could be put out tomorrow by the hiring committee, whoever you choose to put on it, and then.
yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
Mhm.
when I've seen other communities do this, it's not uncommon for the board to approve a request for proposal. Staff puts that together and gets it out. And then your hiring committee would meet with those folks who submitted proposals and answer any questions about them, and then have the hiring committee make a recommendation to the board.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you. I think that's what we intended to do, so,
And they do all need to be kept because it's open
Oh,
record
yeah.
at a certain point.
so. Do we, so is 3 enough, or how many we're,
Probably always good to have an odd number.
well,
Well, either way, it still comes back to us commissioners.
it still comes
So,
back.
I mean, I think it's kind of not gonna say it's a cut and dry deal, but
I think that's what we've done with
Kind
our
of what it
last
would be.
committees that we've had, though. I think it's been like 3 members.
Because it sounds like we got somebody really good interest.
Well, is that okay with everyone then?
Okay by me.
Who is the commissioner?
Juliana, Dean, and.
No, the commissioner.
Oh,
You, okay.
that's what,
Is that okay?
unless. we-
I wouldn't mind being on it, but I mean, however, I mean, it's,
Well, I just think we should alternate. I mean, no matter if we wanna be on it or not, I think it's, when your time comes up, we should be on it when there's more to be done. That way it's kind of fair. You don't
I'm just
have-
writing up for the motion, so
Mhm.
I just want to make sure.
Okay,
I make that motion to have Juliana, Dean, and Rod.
okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a second. Any more discussion?
You just like to have something out by the end of the week? Or tomorrow, today?
ASAP.
Well, I think we should meet, we can meet today yet if we want to, or tomorrow or whatever. I mean,
I would get it going.
yeah, we can get it going
I
right
think we
away.
can have it,
Okay.
but
Right away. Okay,
Yeah, I'm available, so whenever.
Yep.
all right. All right, then, if there's no more discussion, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Huh? She wrote it up there before.
I would
we
have
said it.
changed it. I would have
Oh.
changed it.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. Okay. What was next on the agenda? According to this, looks like we're a little bit late, but it looks like Stacy, you're up, unless someone else. Let me see. You're next, so. Oh, yeah, and Marcia too, if you got something.
I get a few things.
Okay. Go ahead, Stacy.
Okay, so for zoning, we don't have any approach permits. We had one application at the zoning board meeting in October, and it was for a short-term rental application for Michaela Radke, who has a place just south of Freiburg, on 38th Street. The parcel is zoned commercial, but they had a conditional use permit for a house on
their property, and so they want to turn the house into a short-term rental. And the zoning board approved it with conditions. There was a lot of discussion and, but, you know, it was approved. The conditions being, because it's a 6-bedroom short-term rental, it would have to be licensed by the state of North Dakota as a lodging facility, so that's the first condition. And then if the state ever, you know, revoked their licensing, like if they weren't complying with the state's rules for lodging facilities and the state revoked their permit, then our permit would also follow that. The other one, the structure wasn't inspected for building code compliance when it was built, because it was built prior to code enforcement by the county, and so we would have a physical inspection to verify that they have the state, local health, safety, building, and fire code provisions have been met. The septic system would be monitored and maintained regularly. You know, the applicant would coordinate with the South District Health to physically inspect the system at least once every 3 years. And then if they don't maintain their septic system properly, where it becomes a neighbor nuisance, then that could also be a reason for revoking the permit. Because a lot of times, like the people who stay in short-term rentals, they're not used to living in a rural area, and so that's always something to make sure that the health and safety issues are met. Maximum occupancy would be 16 guests, which is our max for short-term rentals. And then the application, since it's on a property with multiple buildings, that it's right now it is just for the house only. And so any other changes, like they have a large shop that was used for employee housing. There's like 5 apartments, or they're almost like hotel rooms, or they're a single room with a full bath. That if any of those buildings would request rental occupancy, then that would have to come back to board. And so I don't really have any issues with this one. And this parcel is zoned commercial, and so it's probably more of a, you know, for a commercial operation.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? The only thing I remember is that none of the other buildings can get used during this time for that purpose, so.
Yeah, it's just the house.
Mm-hmm.
That was me.
I'd move to approve application 2025-28
I would just.
with conditions.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, and then the second thing on for my report is that we've been without one zoning board member since Connie Kazian resigned, and so we put notices out on Facebook and the county website and in the paper and posters, and we didn't really get a whole lot of, you know, volunteers. I did make a few phone calls, and then there was Cody Arbus had contacted Dean and Jim for being appointed, and so he's like we were focusing on getting another person from District 1. It's not a requirement from District 1, but Cody lives in District 1 and he's from the younger demographic, and so I think it'll be a good fit. The one thing is that he works for the county, and so he would have to clock out during meetings. He said he has a county vehicle, and so if he drove that vehicle, he wouldn't get paid mileage. And it is on the honor system for Cody clocking out for meeting attendance, which I had told him that meetings are roughly, they can be up to 2 hours or so recently, and so it is a time commitment for flexing his time or taking vacation. and he was fine with it, so Cody would be the recommendation for the new person on board.
Either way, he was a good choice, because there was really nobody else that we found. So hopefully it works for him good.
Okay. Any other, Steve, you're okay?
Yeah.
Marcia, that's okay?
Yeah, we just need a motion to appoint him to a 4-year term. It's a 4-year term, right?
Yeah, 4 years, yeah.
Okay, we need a motion to accept Cody Armbrust as a 4-year zoning director.
I move to approve Cody. 4-year zoning term.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And then the Association of Counties, like Dean and I both attended the session on data centers, which data centers has been on the radar, but not anything that I think has to be, handled like right now, because all of the county itself has limitations for like siting for data centers. Like we don't have a power source, like a utility scale power source in the county, but from looking at siting for the data centers, a lot of times they follow, like there's a map that was, that I found that has, like, where do these things go? And it's usually at the intersections of high voltage power lines. And so it's like, well, where do we have high voltage power lines in the county? But they're just right outside of the northern boundary. So if we were to see one of these things, chances are it would be in the northeast part of the county or the eastern edge of the county where we have the 345 kilovolt lines. But there is a push across the country for more transmission lines. There's the new line that's going in just south of us for the Grid United from, I don't think we would be able to tap into that, but that could open up something down to the south, but it's mostly just monitoring right now and taking a look at what are the impacts of these data centers and like before we go into any sort of ordinance reviews, I would like to probably even go and visit some of these locations just so you can see, the Ellendale one is still fairly new, but Ellendale didn't have, and Dickey County didn't have zoning regulations at that time when that facility came through, and there's other regulations to watch out for like what Randy Crispin had said, is like, if it's ahead of the meter or behind the meter, it depends on, will the cost be eaten up by the consumer versus, in-house, by the actual facility. So there's a lot of politics, there's a lot of regulations that go into these. So right now we're in just monitoring stage right now. But location-wise is the biggest thing for zoning, and so that's where, like, I thought this map was good for it. So it's like, okay, where could we see one? And they're really always at the intersection of high voltage transmission. So that northeast corner might be the spot. I don't see the western side of the county because it's topography issues and badlands and lack of transmission lines, but eastern side and western or southern side, northeast corner would be if we were to see something.
So like on 23rd where they're putting the new substation in, is
that might come into play. I mean, it all depends on what the electrical grid can handle. So yeah, so that might, power source is the biggest thing right now, and Basin Electric has been gearing up with more power plants up north, like for a new natural gas facility outside of Stanley. It's North Dakota could definitely see some more of these things.
So one thing that was talked briefly too was we don't have a zoning ordinance.
No, and so right now it wouldn't be allowed unless we would have an ordinance in place.
Right. So I mean, that's something that if it starts to happen, then we'd have to get on that right away.
Yeah, and we haven't had any phone calls. I mean, the only phone calls that we've really had are like from the press of like, do we have an ordinance? We don't know, not yet. And there is a model ordinance coming up through League of Cities and Association of Counties, and then Montreal County is working on their ordinance right now. Williams County has one. The other counterpart to this is battery energy storage, and so it would be kind of looking at energy all above for data centers and stuff like that. So. Then the other thing I have is for taxes. There's 3 mobile homes for the 2025 tax roll that need to be abated. This is just a list of them. The first one is for Brenda Schumacher. She called up, and the mobile home that's on her property, it's been vacant for about 7 or 8 years now, and you know, there's no heat hooked up to it, there's no electricity anymore. It hasn't been lived in for about 7 or 8 years. It's really not in livable condition. And so when mobile homes are kind of just sitting on the property and not being used for a house, and they're not hooked up, they're kind of considered more personal property and not taxable anymore. And so this one, the taxes are $43.28 for 2025. It's an older 81 mobile home. So they don't, like, none of these mobile homes are high valued properties, but it's one where it's just there. And so mobile homes, you know, they're different property, they're kind of like property tax, but they're more of like, it's mobile home tax, it's more of a personal property tax. And so that is the first one. The second one, this Dexter Kinsey mobile home was moved in on the Arnold Rodokowski, the blue shop in Fairfield. That one kind of moved in and moved out without anybody really knowing. So it was moved in 2024. So for 2025, we gave them a mobile home tax statement. It was never paid. And then in August of 2025, it moved out without a permit. And so we tried to get a hold of them. We have no idea where the mobile home went. It's an older mobile home. The taxes are $21.41. So that one is uncollectible. And then the last one, Kristen Morrow, she had a mobile home out at her parents' place, Rodney Crow's place, and that one was moved out sometime in 2024, but we didn't know that was moved out until the 2025 tax statements came out, and Rodney was like, this mobile home isn't here anymore. So that one shouldn't have been taxed to begin with. So that one, the taxes on that one was $77.05.
How much is a moving permit for them?
Moving permits don't cost anything. You just have to make sure that your taxes are paid before you move the mobile home. And then they get the Hunter Orange piece of paper from us saying that it's okay to move. And they're supposed to get a hold of the DOT, I think, to move them as well. But a lot of times for the one in Fairfield, that one kind of moved in from the South Hart Road and down in, and then I don't know where it went. So, but for the most part, the mobile homes are pretty stable. It's just a matter of, sometimes they disappear on us without knowing.
Unless you wanted to pull one off, then you can approve all of them at the same time.
You mean that would be the first one?
for a motion, you could approve all three mobile home abatements
Okay.
together as one motion instead of three separate motions.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fine with leaving them all together. Everybody else got anything?
Yep.
Steve, or?
A small amount, but just like if they moved it out, they should have got the permit, they should just pay the tax, but if the other one's still there, you should just pay for it,
I know.
$43.
I know.
But such small amount,
I
I'm not
know,
gonna argue
and that's the
about it.
thing, it's like mobile homes, we enforce them, like Marshall will send out delinquent tax notices, and then.
And the sheriff has them now for this year for the ones that
And if
haven't
they
paid their
don't,
taxes.
then the sheriff goes out.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
I'm sure it
I
is.
mean, because we can.
$6.30 that hasn't paid, so it's a little frustrating for us as much as maybe it is them, but.
So, two questions then. So this old one that's more or less gonna be junked the way it looks, it's been vandalized and whatever, nobody lived in it. Then it just comes off the tax roll, period. So then, I forgot what my second question was.
She gets it up and going, and then no one really ever knows to tax it on.
Well.
It comes off.
Yeah. That would be one, if there was ever any evidence of the house being lived in, then we would put it back on the mobile home tax roll.
And that's happened in the past where Stacy's gone by a place,
okay.
that, it's like, well, they've got new vehicles there and they're obviously living there.
Okay.
Yeah, and looking at the air photo on the Schumacher one, I mean, you could definitely tell, like, okay, when it was lived in, and there was the driveway to the house. Well, the driveway now is like totally grassed over. I mean, there's no evidence.
Is that up by Jeff Bronco's to the east?
It's that, kind of middle area up in there, I forget what the address is, it's.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Anyway, my second question was, so when we get down to this low of taxes, is it state law that you have to tax, or can you make it as a $50 or $100 limit, and anything below that don't matter?
We haven't really gone.
Can't do that.
Not really. It's all based on valuation, but there is kind of like a system in place for like old mobile homes basically are like capped at, we call it percent good, they're 10% good. So like mobile homes have kind of a straight up, valuation system, and so they end up kind of bottoming out in a way, and that's it.
And the $6.50 for the one is because it was $13 to start with, and then they paid half, and then didn't pay that.
Yeah, because you can pay it in 2 installments, which. So sometimes mobile homes are more headache than what it's worth. We don't have that many. I mean, we do have quite a few for the county, but I mean,
72.
Yeah,
That's
for this.
how many you have, huh? Yeah.
Most of them are the foundation ones, though.
But I just, that's why I threw that out there.
Yeah, I mean, we do, they're pretty much anything, in the.
If it was 30 years old and it was this value, but if you can't do it, you can't do it.
Yeah,
So,
we have a set, bottom rate for the valuation, and then it's value times the mill levy, so it's always,
Okay, so we need a motion then to do the number 3. Everyone agree to leave them all 3 together?
Yeah.
Okay, and to do the home abatements for these for 2025. Someone will make a motion? I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
No, second.
We have a second. Any more discussion? You're okay?
Yep, I'm good.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, and then you sign these. I can.
Just one right there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so you sign right there.
Going all of them, huh? I think we should, we gonna take a break or not? Okay. We'll take a break.
My husband, Terrell?
What's left here, we got,
So it's district manager now, but UND lost my application behind a cabinet, and so they never sent me an accepted letter, so I went to Queens.
Oh, okay.
And then moved right back.
you're done then, Stacy, right?
Yeah.
You're done?
Yeah, I'm done,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, that was the last one.
Because I've been trying to reach out to
No,
them.
right. Want to give Robbie
Yes. Well, I know.
You got
Yeah,
a
I get a
letter.
lot of else.
So, did you see it?
Yeah, I got
Problem is
you got it
everyone
too.
knows my dad wishes
You
they
guys
have
saw
their
it.
own.
So we're gonna do that.
You're gonna talk
Probably don't
about.
keep his cows around before the sheriff does.
So is everybody ready to start right away? Are you guys ready to start? Is Lee Cook ready to start?
I don't
So I started at
pricing.
and I was given and then,
We do have to have, I think it's
so it,
so you don't need to have.
I did a lot with the city.
Study, but you need to have somebody that's there.
So I went to hang out with my son before after my kids were born.
To work in that red box.
In the red box.
You might not know this, but I consider Jared Parker dumb people.
The kids, you stay within the area.
And so I've talked to beavers, and they, I think they were coming out here this week on a different. boat.
Yeah.
Somebody's got a disposal, guys.
No, I think that they have to be at Beaver Creek.
That Beaver Creek.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But maybe
We're
it
slowly
needs to
teaching
be
the old
another,
kids.
maybe to make sure.
Yeah, kind of like me with my smartphone.
I put
Throw this iPhone
a
away.
computer on a TV for John Bogner the other day, and he's just like, what, can you do that? The print is so big, I know, John.
Well, Culver should be here.
You did that probably on purpose, right?
I know, he was just shocked, just stood there looking
I
at it.
actually even called like class yesterday.
I use the restaurant, I got pre-trials this afternoon.
Good seeing you.
It says it's working out well. That must be
We don't have a cadastral down this month.
Beaver Creek.
Yeah, and she didn't, that, what we decided to do is there's great. Especially the time trial, right, on the other study. So we should have her get that kind of.
I should have just. On a Friday. Christmas is Thursday, and then come back Friday the 26th.
Can you imagine a jury if we made them come in?
They'd be a little upset.
Everybody would be coming in action.
We would need to have a meeting.
Everybody in the county, we do not have a
Are
jury.
they gonna even do it with this year?
10 years of practicing.
And next, you know,
They
shoot
still,
the plate.
courts still set jury trials, we need between your specific acts. Like, if wants to do work, or need, be in court, or needs to see a jury. You know, people that don't take
There's a lot of involvement from the library. So once we have a pipe, they can build their own.
Nobody is in.
But it wasn't brought up about the CDL amendment?
It was, I mean, we went through all the resolutions.
No, I mean at the Congress.
In our meetings, we changed some wording.
Suggested it
Is
back.
this, and then at the delegate meeting, it was changed it back.
But did anybody bring it up at the
Because
delegate
instead of
meeting?
just put a story on.
That's a delegate meeting.
Right.
Somebody brought it up, yeah.
Oh, they did
Yeah.
change it back.
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
talked about. well,
That's why I thought, whatever, this.
yeah.
Then when I went to get some more bacon, the bacon was gone.
Oh,
So I was
man.
like, I just got to listen to Karen and Richard. We sat with each other.
I bet she had a lot to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, Karen. Oh, did I leave that? Yeah, I did.
The ranchers up there sitting or?
It's all for service.
I'm gonna try and turn stuff on a few
There's a
things.
grazing association, but there's only the two fences that are like cattle. So we don't have to worry about it. Yep. There's a lot of.
Down there, it just texted me.
What's she up to?
She gotta take her dog to the vet.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
This week's late.
And your dogs are for the county.
The dog I told her not to get.
What is it?
It's a German Shepherd, or a Shepherd mix that they rescued from Detroit Lakes. Well, from a shoulder. She has a dog from me and John, who's the healthiest.
So she has two?
Yeah. So she and her boyfriend went and rescued this one. And she is, got nothing but problems, and that's what shepherds have. They have lots of problems. Not very happy with it, because guess who's gonna end up paying for the vet bill? Can't wait till I tell John about that one.
So, civil science, doing some of the work, what that grading looks like, so.
Okay, we're gonna try and be done by noon. We should probably, anybody missing? Let's call it back to order. And do we wanna do Forest Service or gravel, or you first, Marshall, however you
Or
want?
did you wanna do road soup first?
Or do him first, okay?
You're welcome.
So the crews have been hauling on Buckhorn, River Drive, they're blading, mowing, cleaning cattle guards, getting some fall projects done. Cameron passed his CDL test, so we hired him without his CDL, went through the program and we got him his CDL now. So he's trucking. We milled Blacktail and 22nd Street, turned out good. There were a couple soft spots caused by a rancher and a tractor during heavy rain, but it's looking, the center's hard, so we'll see how that holds up. Krebs Corner, Livichucks have been hired to do the dirt work. They plan on starting it here in the next couple of weeks. The Mouse and the Shirky pits, I got a quote from 2 contractors on each pit. Wyrick Construction was the low quote on each. I tried contacting him here the other day, couldn't get a hold of him, but he plans on starting sometime this fall, winter, to get that crushed.
Can I ask what them 2 pits were again? What was the name?
The Mouse and the Shirky pit.
Okay.
We have the Tim Armbrust lease agreement that needs to be signed here. Working with Tim on that. There's gonna be a little more into getting it put together just because those were engineered waterways, so we want to make sure water drains instead of sits when we're done crushing. So working with KLJ on that.
We'll need a motion on that gravel lease.
So basically, that's a goal on that, for sure?
Yeah, they've signed a lease here.
They
It's
did
a goal.
sign?
Yep.
Okay.
And we'll be crushing 60,000 to start, and then he wants to spread it out over a couple crushings.
And the lease is between these 2, no other family members, or that's, we know that they have it all? Or?
They have everything.
Okay.
That was part of the agreement when they bought the land, was
Oh.
the surface had to go with it, just so there was no squabbles with family.
Okay. So go back then to the Mouse pit. So they got the lowest bid, because those were small little deals, right?
small, so I
we didn't have
quoted
to
them.
do those.
I didn't have to bid, I just
Right.
quote, because they're right around the $100,000 is all.
Okay.
And
So did you let, is it Wire or however you say their name?
Wyrick.
Yeah, Wire.
Yep.
And you let them know, and the other ones, what was the other one, Noel or something?
Noel, and then I talked to Knopic on the Shirky pit.
Because he had called me about if there was anything done with the bid, you know what I mean?
Okay, well, I can call them and let them know.
Let them know, okay, that's good, thank you.
What's the quantity on the armborst pit, do you think, total is there?
Total?
Total.
Anywhere from 180 to 200,000.
Okay. Are you gonna advertise like for so much and more, like 60 and more, or how are you gonna advertise that when you bid it?
We're gonna advertise for 60.
Okay.
Crush 60.
But is 60 enough?
That's how much he wanted to do. He wanted to divide it into 3 crushings.
Not very much when you don't have no gravel up there at all.
Well, just glad to be getting what gravel we are getting.
So, did he mean like one crushing a year, or what did he mean? If
Well, when we're done with the pile, then we'll renegotiate.
Okay. Could be a year then, or something.
Well, it'll take a couple of years
Yeah,
to haul out 60,000, but yes.
I just look at it, it's what he wants, that's fine, but I mean, we get a better deal when we can crush a little bit more, and if there's that much more, it'd be nice to go half of what's there, and then crush the other half.
Well, the other side of that is screening. There's gonna be a lot of screening on this, so you don't know till you get into it.
But at the end, we need the gravel.
You mentioned screen, why is that? What's the deal?
If you get too many fines in it, it's just sloppy, muddy.
Oh.
So you have to screen the fines out to meet spec. We did that on the Clyde. You do it on all pits, but there's more that you have to screen than others.
Gotcha.
So like on the Clyde pit, they finished crushing there. We estimated around 80,000. They only came up with 60.
Okay.
The engineer's estimate was 100 was there. So we bid at 80, figuring there'd be 20% that would need to be rejected. There's closer to 40% rejected at times, just because of the amount of fines that was in it.
That's good. That's good. I mean, in a way of rejecting that stuff instead of just putting it all in the pile.
Right.
Because that's where our bad gravel is coming up with.
Does that affect our bid the way it was then, or his price?
No, it didn't, because it's bid per yard crushed. Yeah. They don't like to see it, but at the same time, Fishers had gone out and they dug their own test holes, and they came up with about the same numbers we did. So it just.
So they bid accordingly.
Yeah, and when they got into the pit, it changed.
Okay.
So. 135th, the culverts have been delivered and the fences have started to be moved. They haven't started putting in the culverts yet for the line pipe. They're supposed to have that done this fall yet. And Sully Creek campground, or Rough Rider campground, I was contacted by Sean Johnson with Parks and Rec about 36th Street going into the campground. They're wondering what a maintenance agreement would look like and what ideas the county had on the road. Ideas I sent them over was they obtain the easement and build the road to spec, and then they could turn it over to the county. Would be one idea. Another idea is they gravel it and the county will blade it by the hour as requested, like we do at the TRMF up there by on Bible Camp Road.
Mm-hmm.
So you're aware of that. The library access road, met with Kurt and Hugh on it. Figured out what culverts we're going to use. We changed the culvert design a little bit from what the Forest Service had initially wanted to use. We changed out the 54-inch to a double 24. Forest Service just approved the project. Culvert should be here end of the week, beginning of next. We can get started on that whenever. And then trucks and tractors for next year, or a tractor for next year and the trucks. I don't know which, we can start on the trucks if you want. So I got quotes from Western Star and quotes from Kenworth. They're in your packet there. The Western Stars, they valued one truck at $45,000 and 5 trucks at $38,000. And then Kenworth, they valued all the trucks at $23,000. I did speak with the salesman on the Western Stars. The only difference in between the 49 and the 47 is the hood length. The cab is the exact same. Just so you're aware.
The 49's a considerable bigger truck.
But the cab is the same.
I looked at them. They're considerable bigger. I'll start out with these trucks. I didn't really get a chance. I wish I would have had a little bit more time to completely pick and hone on it, which I don't want to really do. I can see what you did. You bid out the 500 some horse, or however you bid it. That's what they threw in. This is not comparing apples for apples. The Western Star, you know, coming in at the 47X is a smaller truck versus the Kenworth 880. You look at the engines, you know, you got a 13 liter in the Western Star versus the 15 liter in the Kenworth. I know there's got to be $6,000 to $8,000 difference in price on that. You know, it's a smaller truck. They should have bid a 49. I think that would have been comparable to the Kenworth size and everything, but it's considerable more money too. I don't know, I didn't get into the nitty gritty, but this is not comparing apples for apples.
So what I did with the Kenworth dealership is I gave them the same specs from the trucks we bought last time, and this is the truck they came up with.
Yeah. It's just, I think Walworth needed to produce that 49 if you're gonna compare more. To me, I mean, I'll say it's like buying an S10 pickup versus a regular Chevy pickup. I mean, it's a smaller truck. Even though the engine is there and all that, it's a smaller truck. The resale on it's gonna be less. I can see Kenworth probably not giving a lot for it because it's not their brand. I'm not saying Kenworth's the way to go. I mean, I'd like to try it, I really would. Because you can blame service. You never know, Kenworth could be the worst service you ever had. I'm not gonna go into service, but I'd like to see something different. I've been around them all, and I mean, if we're gonna bid this, then maybe, I don't know if I'd want to, but maybe we should have bid International, because International would have came in with the same size truck as the Wesley truck, and I know they would have. And I'm not saying where they would have been at, but they would have been a cheaper truck. It's kind of like Mack and all that, you know, you kind of watch.
Well, I got quotes from dealers in town that have bigger service departments.
Mm-hmm.
Other dealers, they don't have the service department to back up the trucks.
Well, Kenworth did have one. I mean, they got a good service department.
Yeah.
My first one was that one we still have. I mean, I ain't gonna compare maintenance. You know, I never had maintenance with it, but never did with the Internationals. I'm just saying, when we're comparing price here, there's a few dollars difference, but you gotta keep in consideration it is a little different truck than it is this truck.
When you see the horsepower in the transmission, I mean, that's the same.
Yeah.
So what are you saying is
Well,
different?
go look at the size of the trucks. Just go out and go to a Western Star and look at a 47X and go look at the 49X. There's a difference. And there's more money on the 49X.
I mean,
So
the
when you
rear ends,
compare the price on
same
it,
rear ends, 46,000s.
You know?
Yeah.
I think the frames and all that, you can spec to them even being the same. I'm just saying, there's a difference in these two trucks. I don't know, you know, you hear so much about them Western Stars. I don't know. I think if the guy, even when I was back in there, I think if a guy would have went with one grade better on the Western Stars, I think it would have helped, my opinion. I don't know, you know, until you try it and do it, you don't know.
I can go back and get you 49X numbers, but just the cost difference right now and the trade-in value. Like, I wouldn't mind trying something else, but the price difference is huge. And when you look at 6 trucks that need to be traded out next year, that's a lot of money when you figure $30,000 a truck.
Yeah, but when you retrade them, what are you gonna get out of them? I can tell you right now, Kenworth is on top. And you get more money when you trade a Kenworth in than you do a Western Star. I'm almost positive on that. It's just because of everybody out there just seems to lean that way.
So do the guys, or you guys prefer the automatic, or would you rather have 13 for all the?
So my plan was to buy 3 automatics and 3 13s. Keep a couple of 13, there's a couple guys that want 13s, a couple guys that want automatics. And then 13s keep around. When you do have someone new coming in, you need to send them in. You need a good truck for them to learn in, to train them in. That way they're, because if you get your CDL in an automatic, you're stuck driving an automatic. So we make sure they get their CDL in a manual transmission. And so far, since I've been superintendent, we've had 3 go in and get their CDLs.
From either company, do you know what the extended warranty is going to cover?
Bumper to bumper for 5 years. 7 years on the transmission on the Western Stars, on the automatics.
So in 5 years we get rid of them?
And the 13 speed, 7 year.
Is there 7? Okay, yep. Well, that's, a trip to town is all it takes to hit the warranty numbers.
Well, I think it would also be good if we could come up with a system eventually that your unit, you can keep track of how much maintenance goes into each unit better. This loader cost us $30,000 in the last 5 years.
Yep.
I think that we need to look at getting that rolled out to, even when it comes to these trucks. Maybe it's a good comparison. Oh yeah, we spent $30,000 on 3 trucks, or 1 truck for 3 years on the Western Star. So let's go try these. It'd be a little better backing justification, if you're going to jump $30,000 to the Kenworth. I think that'd be a good way to, justify some things and to know that we need to get rid of them quicker or not. Might be a little bit of work for somebody.
On those newer trucks, don't they have tracking on those?
I could probably talk to the dealer and find out. They probably have it under their VIN numbers. But I know in the last couple of years, these trucks have been going to town more often. So I would like to start rolling them more often, just so we don't have the issues.
So is it that you think it's the truck's fault, or do you think it's, if it was a different brand, would you still take it in the town as much as you are?
Yes.
You would?
Yep, a lot of it's DEF issues. Where I would, wasn't this year, but last year we had a lot of DEF issues. Problem is, DEF pumps across the board are all made by the same company. So they don't, it doesn't matter where you talk to anyone, they're all having the same issues.
Well, as one person on this board, I am not for the Western Stars. I think it'd be good to try something different. I guess I'd even be in the mood of getting 3 and 3, then we can see how they are. I know it's a lot of money on the table, but.
Yeah, and their sourceful numbers.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, their
I just
sourceful
wanted to make
numbers.
sure.
Yep.
So you have to have a reason why
That's my
you
opinion.
you wouldn't take the lowest responsible bid, so that, as long as you put in a reason in your motion as to why you wouldn't want to go with the lowest bid.
Well, these aren't the same.
Yeah, they're not apples
That's
to
my
apples.
reason.
What, do you want to wait until you get a X9 or whatever you said? A
49X.
A 49X.
When I look
the
at
other
horsepower and
options.
transmission, and your warranty, that's what I guess I see is the same, but whether your cab is different, I guess I have to go look at them, but.
Do you have to have these bids in soon, or can you wait till December and get
I
them
can
in?
wait.
You can wait.
It doesn't matter.
Well, I think we get another bid then. That's just my opinion. And
If you're wanting to try something different, we could open it to bids and see what comes in. And then that way there's none of this back and forth. There'd be a set parameter they have to meet.
Do you guys want to put it out there like that?
Yeah.
Bids? Instead of
All I'm
Sourcewell?
saying is these here 2 aren't the same.
Yeah.
However we want to do it.
Okay. we'll just put together a bid packet and do that then.
Okay. Sounds good to me then.
So do you have to rebid them all three again? Because I don't think it's fair to go to Western Star and tell them.
I'm rebidding the whole thing.
The whole
It'll
thing.
go out to anybody.
Yeah, so we'll do it in the
International,
paper.
MAC, it'll be through the paper. And they'll all have to just follow the bid spec.
Yep.
For how many trucks then?
6.
6. Yeah.
And in that case, if it's Mack or Freightliner, whoever, there's the lowest, we have to have a good reason to not take it.
Yep.
And in this case, what is a good justified reason that we don't want to take Western Star? What can be one, or is there one?
Well, you can, I mean, right now you can just reject all bids and go out and rebid it. So that's, you know, based on the fact that it wasn't, what came back wasn't exactly what you guys were thinking would come back, apples to apples. So now when you rebid it out, you can just take your.
But you're
bids.
saying to move forward with this, but a reason to.
Well, let's say Mack, or let's say whoever comes in low
Yeah.
next time, then what are you gonna do?
That's what I mean. Yes. That's what I was saying, bidding international or bidding like that. We don't know where that's gonna come in. At least we got 2 trucks here we can pick from. And my reasoning being is, I think Kenworth's a better truck. I can go back and I think if you pull service on it, see what you took in the last couple of years, but I hate to go that because Kenworth could give you the trouble, but maybe not keeping them so long would really help also.
Right.
You know, I think we need to rotate a lot of this stuff a little bit sooner than 10, 12, 15 years, you know. I'm just saying this would be a good example if we wanted to go 3 and 3. Then we could see, and you know, where we're at versus.
But do we have a reasonable explanation to not do all
I think
6?
service is a good reason. I just, it seems like trucks are in there and then they don't come home fixed. They go back in within a couple days and I think, it seemed like they don't get on it right away. I just feel that, service is a lot.
Well, we haven't had very good luck anywhere else either, so.
Have you taken anything to Kenworth?
We tried, they wouldn't even work on it. We wound up taking it to Wesley so they would work on it.
Well, it's hard taking a different brand to a dealer.
It was a Kenworth we took. We
It was
took
a
that
Kenworth?
in.
The one we got?
Yeah.
How many times have that been in the shop?
It doesn't.
It was
move.
never in there when I had it.
It's been in quite a bit. We've had it in quite a few times.
Well,
But
maybe
it
we
doesn't
should-
move every day either. It's up to the water tanker.
No, but it's been around a while too. I don't know, I still think we should try 3 and 3. That would eliminate. But if you guys wanna rebid it and you get international, and you get that coming in, whatever, but I just don't think it would hurt going 3 and 3, and the excuse can be service or however you wanna say it.
Well, I'm for that. Service is a good enough reason. Put it in the motion.
But then if you're gonna do 3 from the one that you don't like.
Well, it would be a proving point though. I mean, people would understand that, I would feel. But that's the reason why you're trying it.
Where's the attorneys at?
Yeah.
I don't think, attorney, there's gonna be no backlash on it. I mean, I guess if there is, but.
Well, and we're ordering from 2 of the people that put a bid in.
Right.
So you're taking from each of them.
Were you
Nobody
gonna-
else put a bid in.
So you were gonna do all 6 anyway today?
Yeah, prefer either way.
We'd have to divide up the automatics and the 13 speed somehow. One would get more than the other, 2 and 1.
Probably just do the automatics from one company and the 13s from the other.
I guess which districts, I mean, would then, is it annoying having X amount here, there, as far as the brand, or what, doesn't matter?
They go to town at the same frequency, so it doesn't. District 2 would be getting 4 of the trucks, and then District 3 would be getting 2 of the trucks.
The other problem is, okay, 3 trucks, $30,000, that's $100,000 that we're throwing out, because we, So think of it that way. I'm not saying I'm not against getting both, but $100,000 is a lot of money too.
Well, it is, but you're initially stepping up too, I feel. So when you trade that truck in next time, what's that truck gonna be the difference from the other truck?
Getting the 13s from one and the
Automatic.
automatic from the other would be a good enough reason to,
Oh.
I mean, if you wanted to try it.
Okay.
Which one would you choose then to do it that way?
Probably do the 13s and the Kenworths and the automatics and the Western Stars. The other thing to consider is in the back of your packet also, I put what wall work was required our trade-ins to be instead of an as-is condition.
No active codes.
There's quite a list there that they have to meet. In the event we gotta spend money fixing them, that $23,000 is gonna disappear awful fast. You know, because just if you read through there, it's something to think about, something to look at.
So you better off taking those trucks to some public auction?
That could be an option too.
Brakes no less than 50%. Well, tires 50%.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
Any codes? No oil or coolant leaks. Well, a truck.
It's a truck, I know, and
It's gonna
that's what
leak.
concerned me when I read that.
So you're gonna give them trucks away.
That was my one thing with wall work I wasn't necessarily impressed by.
You gotta put new tires on to trade it off. Huh?
Yeah, you won't know that bridge till you cross it when the time comes. I mean, you're not going to. You know,
But I mean, the trucks we're trading in.
Yeah, the ones we're trading in.
I mean,
So
like I say,
really
you better
don't
off
know-
not.
You really don't know until it comes to that, you know? You can
So
say
that is one thing he did put in his email, they do have to meet this standard, which is quite the strict standard, whereas Wesley's has been a as-is condition.
Those are all 15s that we're trading in.
Yes. Yeah, the difference in the one price on the one is because it has a wet kit on it and has a little longer frame. That's why Wesley's was given a little more for it.
So are all these coming with wet kits? These Kenworths?
No, you have to install wet kits afterwards.
On
You can
either
order
or.
them
On either
on
or.
either or, yes. You can order them with the hydraulic tank pre-installed.
Oh, that's what the 800. Oh.
Yep, but
So if you go with the Ken, where it's with 3 of them, then you pick out the 3 best Western Stars, and that's the ones you trade into them, right?
Did you look at this though? Did you read this? This is pretty stringent.
I mean, I'm just saying, we're talking 3 trucks, so you pick out the best ones, or let them come pick which ones they want first.
Yeah, that was.
But they're giving a less trade-in value than the other one,
Yes,
so
I
why
see
would
that.
you penalize the other company for?
Mr. Chairman, I'm ready to make the motion that we go 3 and 3. 3 Kenworths and 3 Western Stars.
Okay, there's a motion on the table. How did you put it? Well,
Just
we haven't
second.
done it
I'm
yet.
just getting there.
You're getting there, that's fine.
I've got it written, I just have to copy it out here.
Just buy 1 and 1 for now. Then we'll have good justification later.
well, yeah, you just don't wanna get too late in the year and then
Up
it's
to
for
price.
next year's budget, that's the
Mhm.
only reason
Right.
I'm bringing it now.
And this comes out of the road and bridge fund. right?
Yeah, it comes out of my equipment budget.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then that's all, Bankhead Jones money. Okay, well, I'm gonna second that motion. Is there any other discussion?
I guess to that, would it make sense to not trade these trucks onto Wallwork and send them, I mean, if you're only getting 23,000.
You mean to advertise them?
Well, can you throw them on some, you know?
Well, I thought of that at the beginning on some of this equipment we're trading in. Cause there's somebody out there that would like maybe grab them, you know? But we have to go through the work of doing.
And they got all this stuff
I
on
know
here.
Stark County did it here not long ago, and I don't know how it quite turned out like they were expecting.
Didn't get enough bids maybe or something?
I don't know,
Yeah, oh.
because they had them advertised, because they didn't trade in at one point. And I'd heard through the grapevine later they regretted not trading them, but I don't know 100%.
You must pass fully particulate filter regeneration, all that, I mean, regen. So, you're gonna give them away.
Well, that's right.
Well.
Go ahead.
Have you guys looked at truck papers, that's like nationwide, that you can list them on truck papers? And a lot of people from North Dakota, some of their used semis on there.
So as a county, can we say, okay, here, this is for sale for $30,000?
You can put an equipment, a request for a bid on equipment.
You can't list a price.
If you wanted to list a price, first it would have to go to a local government first, and then out to the public, but usually you don't list a price. I mean, you could, I guess, if you went, and that's the only way you did it, but most of the counties, they do a request for a bid on used equipment.
Well, I'm not totally in favor of that at all, I guess. And I do understand the other, but I'm still in favor of trying something different, and so it's just not working right now. So is there any other discussion on the motion?
I would ask that you include the trade-in or not include trade-in then in the motion, if you go back. Either with trade-ins or without trade-ins, just to put that in the motion.
Is that right? You guys?
Can we put it in both ways? Trade-in or not trade-in? I mean, or do we have to list one? Do we have to list it to put trade-in? Or can we put it trade or no trade?
So you'd have to say with trade or without trade, because each of these
that.
bids are different based on if there is a trade or not. You don't have to say specifically what the trade is, but with trades.
I see what Steve was saying. I just think it's kind of more of a hassle. I think it's better just to let them go in, trade it out that way, unless you agree differently. I just think it's more.
I know it's more of a hassle, but at 23,000, I have this feeling we're going to stick another. Well, I feel they're worth more, but then I think we're going to stick $10,000 into them to ship them in to trade them. You know, you're going to wind up sticking a whole new set of tires on them. You're going to have to go through your brakes, your drums. You know, you're probably looking at 7,000 in brakes and drums. By the time you're all said and done, you're looking at 10 grand. So you're only getting 13 for a truck. But if you were to list them and sell them, you might be able, you know, even if you did only get 23, listing them and selling them, they're as is, no warranty, here's the keys, we'll see you later. You know, you can also set your minimum bid to what you'd expect to get when you do list them. That'd be my only concern on the Kenworth side, but then if you do it for Kenworth, you need to do it for the Western Star, because Western Star is giving you substantially more for your trade-in.
Are our trucks that bad a shape?
No,
I mean, they
but
shouldn't be.
it's gotta meet this criteria.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very
I agree on
stringent,
that.
and you know how trucks are.
Yeah, because they don't know who they're dealing with. You know, with the oil company and all that, it's, you think the county has a little higher leverage than the oil company, but I see their deal. They're throwing that in there, but.
I mean, even upholstery must have been no tears. Well, every seat gets a tear, you know? No chipped or scratched windows.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it is
That was just the
overboard.
one.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what really
That's 30 per trade,
frustrating is
per
they wanna have
I
that.
think it's a gamble we have to take.
Okay, because I just said it,
Yeah.
Karen, I would want to make sure it wasn't a specific truck they were expecting.
No, it's just per trade.
Do the 3 and 3 and send these 3 or those 6 to X amount on whether it's auction or buy it now, whatever. But I don't think you're gonna, I think you're gonna lose a lot more money getting them rolling just to go to Walwork. And they want you to trade in a brand new truck is what they.
Well, that's what their paper says.
Yeah.
You don't know what the salesman is gonna expect, or if they're thinking they're getting the short end of the stick, you know, they're already lowballing you on the price, and they expect a lot more. And he came out and inspected them, but then in his email, he stated you do have to follow these parameters.
Hmm.
You could trade in 3 and 1 and then.
Okay.
You just have to change the motion.
I'd say just let them go in, let them trade in. I think it's gonna be easier. That's my opinion.
Well, I just don't know about the selling. I just, half the time when stuff, well, 15, so yeah. Seems like, you know, sometimes things bring good money on these sales, and then the next time they don't, so I think we're taking a chance.
Well, for a farmer, a $23,000 truck, that's pretty, ain't bad.
You just set your minimum bid, because we did that on the truck boxes on the last auction we did. You just advertise it.
Are they long enough to put a box on, or do you have to stretch them?
You'd have to stretch. One of them is, but that's one we'd probably trade into Wesley's.
Why is that?
Because you'd get 45,000 for it.
Well, that's this
Then we're
one
picking
here.
and choose it again.
No, and that's the one that's, they're offering 45,000 because it has a wet kit and a longer frame. So you'd send that one because you're getting good value for it. If you save 3 back from Kenworth and you just put the 3 out on bids and see how they go, maybe it goes really good, but you can always set your minimum bid. You know, minimum you're gonna accept is 23, and then if you get anything above that, you gain some more money, but they're in as-is condition.
And we're allowed to send them to some consignment auction, right?
The DOT does a couple auctions a year, I'm not sure how that would work. We could get
State surplus property.
Well, we bought a truck there just last year.
years ago.
Even if you only get 15 or 18 from them at auction, we know you're gonna put money into them to get them to get you your amount.
And that's what I'm afraid of. I guess if you want to do the 3 and 3, I'd recommend sending the 3 to Wesley's, trading in 3 to Wesley's, and then keeping 3 and putting them out for bids to Kenworth. That way you're not spending money to get rid of them.
Well, that would be the way that I would want to do it, I guess. Is to try and sell them other ones and see what happens. But we have a motion and a second. And so I guess we could amend the
He
motion.
could amend, you haven't voted on it yet, so
Right, so we
he
can-
could amend his motion if he wanted to.
Right.
Otherwise, you could let this motion go and
Just
then
let
do
it
a
die.
new motion or vote on this motion and approve it.
Well, we should vote on this motion first,
So I'm gonna just remove this because that wasn't part of the original motion. So this could be a motion that you could approve because you still are going to purchase the 3 and 3, and then you could make a second motion on
To keep
the
that.
trade-ins
Yeah,
or
the
whatever you wanna
trade-ins,
do,
right.
so if you wanted
Okay.
to do it that way.
Okay, is that all right if we do it that way? All right, so then, all in favor for the motion of number 8 there, 3 and 3, everyone say, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries then.
I move we don't trade in the 3 trucks to Walwork,
You move to don't?
to not trade in 3 trucks to Walwork.
Okay, do we wanna say, that we put them somewhere or not in that motion, or do that later? I don't care.
Yeah, we can decide later how we wanna sell them, or, I
When
mean,
the trucks
yeah.
come in, we'll put them out for bids.
or watch when the sale, auctions come up, we can figure that out, I guess, as we talk with your monthly reports, I don't know.
So is there a way we can put them out for bids and then still have the option of, if we don't get what we think we're gonna get, to still trade them into Kenworth? Or can that work anyway?
I'll bet not, because
No.
you're gonna have to wait for them Kenworths to come in. And then the minute they come in, they're wanting their trade, you know, drive one in, you pick one
The
up.
only reason I ask is I used to have it on a motor grader, so I could keep that motor grader until I decided if I wanted to keep it for a 4th one or not. And the dealer just kept that all open, and then we would trade it in or whatever. But I was just wondering here, you know, because I'm not sure on that. If you think it'll work, I'll be for it. I'm not. I don't know. I mean, it sounds cheap. It sounds cheap, but yet
If
you
they
don't
wouldn't have
know.
pointed this thing out,
I'm not worried about that. Honest to God, I am not worried about that. And I'm not. I think that's just a form they use. They gotta protect themselves. They're trying to get our clientele anyway. I would presume they would be, you know? So by doing that, it's kinda like,
unless you tell the salesman, this is out the window, we'll take 3 to try, but this is out the window. As is.
He was pretty explicit that it was in the
That's
email.
policy?
Yeah, it was in the email. Cause he didn't sound like he wanted the trades anyway.
Well, there's our motion, if, that would, if they don't want them anyway, I guess, I would second that motion. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, motion carries. Okay.
Now on the tractors. This one will be a little easier. So it took a while, but I finally got with a different salesman with Gooseneck, and I was able to get a quote on a tractor they have on the lot. So it could be here soon, this year yet. It's sitting there. The other quote you have there was from RDO out of, the salesman's out of Minneapolis. When I wasn't getting anything back from Gooseneck, I contacted them. They're not the same tractor, they're not apples to apples, just so you are aware. The salesman was traveling and wasn't able to get me another quote on something like what Gooseneck has there. But we can revisit it. I could go look at other brands if you're wanting to go that way. This is a Sourcewell quote on the one that's sitting on the lot. So we can purchase that way.
So the one that's on the lot is,
With Gooseneck up on the
the
top.
Tyson Mattern is the salesman.
Yes.
And the other one is, okay.
Yep.
So this is, you could get it tomorrow then, basically.
Yes, yep.
So what are the things that are not same?
There's a loader mount on the, one that's, RDO is missing a loader mount on their quote. So we were gonna strip it down a little bit. And then I believe it has like one less hydraulic, if I remember right. And then their power guard warranty isn't in there either.
There's what?
The warranty isn't on there either. if I
On the
remember
gooseneck one?
right. No, the gooseneck has the warranty on
The
there.
other one does?
Yep.
Okay, that's what I.
And he was traveling and didn't have time to get together quote. I can go back and revisit it if you want. The one thing with Deere is their price is going up November 1st, so these quotes are only good now and they're gonna change. I'm not sure how much they're going up, but they are going up.
They gotta be going down, there's everything's sitting low.
Well, I know, they should be going down, and John Deere equipment went down, and Western Stars went down in price from last year.
Are these the same as the lease tractors?
They would be the same, pretty much, yes. Like
At least trading value is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are we trading? You want a District 1?
Yes.
That one that's kind of like, not runs more than it runs.
Yep, I'd like to send that one down the road, and Gooseneck can get their problem back that they didn't fix, so.
I'd like to see us stay with Gooseneck out of Dickinson just because they're local.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
That was kind of my thoughts also. When I was having troubles with the salesman, I was looking at other options, but I walked into Gooseneck and got a different salesman. From the time we met at about noon, 1 o'clock, by 3 o'clock I had this quote in my hand.
Yeah.
So he was on top of the ball and he's been good to work with now.
So how long is the Power Guard protection plan? What is that? That's full bumper to bumper type deal or what?
I believe so, yes.
For how long though?
5 years. It should say.
Or 2,000 hours or what is that? That's the standard.
You guys can print that sheet.
All this new equipment bumper with warranty, we ought to have a lot more money in the maintenance.
Well, that's one nice thing, when it is under warranty, we don't get the bills. The bills have been getting expensive with this older equipment, and I would like to start rolling it sooner, just so we don't have these problems, because the maintenance bills have been going through the roof lately. That's why the 644 is going down the road.
So the other one here from, well, it's from Bismarck, like you say,
He's based out of Minneapolis, but it's a Bismarck.
So there is no warranty though.
He didn't put it on there. I could have him put it on there. This was, we were talking a month ago, and his Gooseneck was stalled. The salesman from Gooseneck wasn't doing his job. Swap salesman, now he's doing his job. I'm sure RDO could probably beat the price. They're very competitive, but staying local and keeping the or I guess not taxes, but keeping the business local and spreading it out is something I wouldn't mind doing either. With RDO, they're beating all the cats on all the bids, and then you go to them for tractors and it would start looking, I know you gotta go with the most responsible bid, but the other thing, if their Sourcewell quotes through John Deere, they're all gonna come back close to the same, pretty close. And it is a 5-year, 2,000-hour warranty, bumper to bumper. Comprehensive full machine warranty.
Well, I'll make that motion. Make that motion to go with Gooseneck out of Dickinson.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion.
With the trading, correct?
Yep.
You're with the trade-in, yep. Okay. Any more, we have a motion and a second, any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now we have to go to the gravel lease, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Need a motion on that.
All right, this would be the Tim and Mary Armburst lease. Everyone's read the deal. Anyone want to make a motion to accept this gravel lease?
I'll make the motion to accept the Tim and Mary Armburst gravel lease.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
No, I second it.
Okay, any more discussion? You're okay? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. What else? You're good?
That would be it unless you have any questions.
I had one on any update from Franks Creek Road blade job. Any correction?
I've not talked to
action?
you. I called Hugh on it. He was gonna go look at it. I haven't talked to him since.
I got a few calls and I went down and I think the problem was they had grass from what I seen. Am I right
Yeah.
on that?
They had a newer hand cutting and he pulled too much grass.
And you know, he was very good to us. I think if a guy would call him, he'd go back, cause I think he would have even been mad. I mean, cause of the way it turned out. And I mean, I've had people in the back, cause usually you want them to reach out. A lot of times we don't get them blade operators to reach out and we hire them.
Right.
They're scared to, but here they reached out and I mean, that was the problem.
He reached out.
Holy cow, I mean, not this time of the year, bottom
Right,
line.
yep. And I visited with Hugh on that. He said he was gonna go look at it. I haven't been up there to see if he fixed it yet or not.
Well, and I'm hoping he gets on it soon. I mean, we're getting some
Yeah.
moisture, maybe it would just sure help to skim it, you know, and work it
Right.
out,
Yep.
wouldn't it?
Yep. And then he said he would take care of it, but I haven't seen if he's been up there yet or not.
That's fine, okay.
I'll do that before he goes down to Krebs's.
Well, he's waiting on his scrapers to go to Krebs's. Their one was broke down, so.
Okay, well then, while you were there, then that's this Forest Service paper, you got it in the mail too, right, from Misty?
I got an email.
Okay, I
last
just got
night
it
or this
last night,
morning.
it was, yeah. And so we have the library here also, so this is kind of what we've been waiting for. Has everyone read all of the things? And the library, you're satisfied with doing your part too, and everybody's on the same page?
Yep. We're gonna use the same contractor, work together, and I think we're set.
I have the pipe ordered. It should be here end of the week, beginning of next. If she could get trucks, it should be here Friday. And then whenever Hugh could get to it. The other thing is there's 2 cattle guards that need to go in. We have a couple of used cattle guards we'll put in along the way. Misty had brought that up at one point.
Okay.
So once it's done, we'll get it scored.
And refresh my memory, how's the cost share go, or how's the?
The county's taking care of the culverts, the cattle guards and the scoria. The library and TRMF are taking care of the dirt work costs.
Okay.
Okay. So do we need a motion here to get it going or not, or where everything is in place and we can just go?
Right, if there's a quote that's within the bid requirements, then you
Okay.
can just direct the road to work forward with it.
Yeah, and you were part of the game, so you guys get.
Yeah, hopefully we can have a few weeks of a little nicer weather to get us, you know.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's good then. Thank you. Thank you all. And we'll get the ball rolling there.
Thanks, Pat.
Yep.
Thank you, Pat. Okay. Marcia, do you have something?
I've got a few things.
Okay.
One of which is under the miscellaneous was the Christmas holiday request. Employees have requested to do the Friday, the half day after Christmas as a holiday, along with Christmas Eve. So the afternoon of Wednesday, all day Thursday, and then the half a day on Friday. So it ends up being 2 full days. So then the road crew would only work Monday, Tuesday that week instead of having to do vacation and
Come back for
were
the half
on the
day,
half day,
whatever,
yeah. And then the courthouse would be closed, so on Friday. If that's something you guys want to allow for, then you would need a motion to do it, because in the resolutions, we had just approved the Wednesday afternoon, Christmas Eve, and Thursday. So you would just need a motion to approve the Friday morning, essentially, or 4 hours.
So we'd be approving the half a day off and the courthouse would be closed
Correct.
On Friday.
on Friday.
Correct. And so we reached out, well, I didn't reach out, one other county auditor reached out across the state to see what everybody else was doing. Golden Valley they already did it back in January in their resolutions, and that's what I had forwarded to you. A number of counties are either requesting it or that is what they're planning on doing. There was only one county that responded that said that they were working the day on Friday, so. And not everybody responded, but.
I'll make that motion. You write it up there how you want to see it and let us read it, and I'll make that motion.
So then those that are working on Friday, we get holiday pay for the half a day, or what? Like, whether
So
it's
it depends on
EMS
their
and sheriff.
work week. So it depends on their work week, but yes, they would get paid essentially if they were not scheduled and they came in to work an emergency or something, they would get the double time because it would be treated just like any other holiday.
That'd be confusing for Colleen,
Yeah. We're getting to a point where
Everything's confusing.
The Monday and Tuesday for the road crew, it actually helps because then they aren't doing their, having to take time off when they're taking a holiday.
Yeah.
Because they work a different schedule than the county, so.
I mean, I'm sure nobody's gonna work that day anyway, they would have to use it.
Unless we have snowstorm.
We didn't approve it.
Well, yeah, a snowstorm
Right.
would change things, but I mean, then you're getting.
Then whoever's coming in to deal with the snowstorm is.
Yeah.
Right. For the good work they're doing, they deserve it all.
Free turkeys for everybody in Hams.
No, Tiny Tim.
Okay, so we have a motion.
I'll second.
We have a second already. We have a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay.
Okay, I had sent out the beer and liquor licenses, and if you want me to push this till next meeting, just let me know. So our beer and liquor licenses, currently we charge $100 for beer on and off sale annually, and $300 for liquor on and off sale annually. Just looking at some of the other counties across the state, it's really kind of all over the board what they charge. We only have, actually TRMF is the only one that does the beer and liquor licenses at this point, because we don't do within the city limits. So we have the Jaden Terrace, Bully Pulpit, and then we used to have Club 85, but obviously they are not in service now. So not to say we couldn't eventually get other beer and liquor license applications, but to deal with that, with what the sheriff's department does, for some of their security stuff, just to make sure that we're covering some of our costs for that, I would suggest to go to $300 and $500 at least.
What does the city charge, Marcia?
They charge $1 and $3 like we do.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm good with those numbers.
The new numbers or the old?
The 3 and the 5.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Along with that, the fireworks display, currently we charge $2 per public display of fireworks.
Two?
Yeah,
That is
that's
the
what I thought.
minimum by law that you can charge
$2.
$2 per display.
Foundation.
Oh,
So
foundation, gotcha.
the foundation
do
is
it,
one,
yeah.
but, you know, if anybody else does a public display
Okay.
in the county, that also gets they have to do a fireworks permit. It has to go through our EMS, or not
Well-
EMS, or law enforcement and our fire chief to make sure that, you know, it's sufficient, but
$2.
$2 I think is
I think we should. up
pretty
that
low.
to $2.50.
And there is no
That's right.
maximum. The foundation does do fireworks permits for, well, they don't do it, but their pyrotechnic company
Mhm.
that for the musical does it every night, so,
So it's $2 every night then?
$2 a night, right. So if you wanted to change that, I don't think $25 is out of the realm of, you know, being realistic for a permit for, in case there is a fire, you know, covering some of those costs too.
Just to do the paperwork.
Right.
We didn't have a fire this summer, did we? No, but last
And not-
summer made up for
yeah.
it.
And not many people responded to that question when I had asked it across the state, because they don't do, you know,
That's for the 4th of July.
technically they're legally required to
Every
do
night.
But they have
permits.
fireworks up at the
Oh, the
amphitheater too.
I didn't know that, okay.
Yeah, 25, 30, 40.
That's-
I don't know.
that's Whatever, okay.
I'm fine with doing 25 or something too. So can you make that into a motion for all of them?
I move 100,
300.
300, 500, and 25.
And 25, okay.
Is at the end, so we hurry and get it done, right?
Yeah.
So when we had that fireworks, so we had 2 displays that night. Each one of them had
Each one
paid
of them paid $2.
$2. Okay. All right. Well, we have a motion. Is there a second? I'll second it. Is there any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
And we did it this month because we're sending out the liquor and beer permits next month.
Okay.
The only other item that I have is the pledge report. BMO Bank is overpledged by $288,000. First State Bank of Galva is overpledged by $1.6 million. And Choice Financial Bank is overpledged by $134 million in their pledge pool. If you'd like to look at it, you can. Otherwise, I need a motion to accept the pledge report as read. How about?
So they all meet
They all meet the requirements of
minimum.
110%.
okay. So we need a motion to accept the pledge reports.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Holiday expenditures. I think we got everybody, or is there someone we missed? All right, I guess we'll adjourn the meeting. That's all right with everyone?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.
He wasn't a party hard, don't worry about it. Oh, yeah. Saw you both that day and then Sunday too.
I will print this for you guys.
Nice. How about you?
How you doing? Good, how are you?
I gotta get my car over to my mom's house, because Pat took my mom's car to Bismarck, and she has to go to Dickinson for PT, so.
And she won't drive a pickup.
No.
But you can.
Yeah.
You like it.
Oh, yeah.
That's-
For a while, well,
Yeah, he should have just swapped with me,
Yeah.
left her.
There's revenues.
Marcia, I don't need them.